Chapter 56-65. A series of explosions rang out, making one's scalp go numb. Quasi-Emperor Mandala and Xingqian were also constantly retreating. Their qi and blood were churning, but they were only at the edge of the lightning. They could not take it anymore. Lin Xian was the first to bear the brunt of the attacks. He was dead for sure. The sky thunder cauldron flew over quickly from afar. The giant elephant phantom sneered. The 5 quasi-emperors also snorted. It seemed that they did not need to do anything. The battle could be settled. Suddenly, a violent sound came from afar. A crack appeared in the sea of lightning. Lin Xian used an immortal technique with his left hand and a divine ability with his right. He directly sent tens of thousands of lightning beasts flying. Wherever he passed, he forcefully opened up a path of blood. A mere lightning was nothing much. Another sword slash. Tens of thousands of lightning bolts were destroyed. Lin Xian walked out. Did Tianji not dare to come after sending these lightning beasts? What a disappointment! Lin Xian's voice rang out, making one's scalp go numb. So strong! Quasi-Emperor Mandala and Xingqian exclaimed. Those in the distance also gasped. How could it be? Tens of thousands of lightning beasts attacked continuously with the power of lightning. Any quasi-emperor would die. The other party was still alive and looked unharmed. Was this Lin Wuti? No wonder he dared to be so arrogant and challenge Tianji. He was indeed extraordinary. The 5 quasi-emperors all frowned heavily. The 3 quasi-emperors who had not seen Lin Xian before sucked in a breath of cold air. The other party was stronger than they had imagined. The 5 of you, go and suppress him for me. Yu Fei finally came over from the sky thunder cauldron in the distance. The giant elephant phantom on it said coldly. The 5 quasi-emperors had no choice but to walk out. You've actually submitted? Quasi-Emperor Mandala gasped when she saw Fei Yu and Luosha quasi-emperor. These 2 clans had finally submitted to the Heavenly Thunder Clan. Quasi-Emperor Fei Yu said, if they did not submit, would they be waiting for death like you? Quasi-Emperor Luosha said the same thing. Do you really think this kid can compete with Tianji? He was too far away. You don't understand young, noble Tianji's strength. As the 5 of them spoke, they walked over and surrounded Lin Xian. Mandela and Lin Xian wanted to help, but Lin Xian said there's no need. The 2 of you can just watch from behind. Although Lin Xian was surrounded by 5 quasi-emperors, he was extremely calm. He stared at Fei Yu and Luo Sha and shook his head slightly. I'm really disappointed. I didn't expect the 2 of you to be so ignorant. Since you've made your choice, I'll send you on your way. How dare you? Courting death. The 5 quasi-emperors were also enraged, especially the 3 new quasi-emperors, who snorted coldly. You're too arrogant. Do you really not put us in your eyes? I want to see how capable you are. There was another boundary emperor on the Rakshasa boundary emperor's side called Boundary Emperor Yuluo. This was a woman. She used a terrifying immortal technique, and a palm that blotted out the sky and covered the earth slammed over. There was a strong, murderous aura on it, and it kept spinning. Immortal technique, spirit extermination. Quasi-Emperor Luo Sha also made his move. He struck out with the Luo Sha demonic blade. The 2 quasi-emperors made a move with great momentum. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He used the demon god fist with his right hand and the true water sword technique with his left. Similarly, he struck out with both palms. An earth-shaking sound rang out, and the 2 quasi-emperors' immortal techniques were shattered. The 2 quasi-emperors were also sent flying, and half of their bodies turned into a bloody mist. Damn it, why is he so powerful? The 2 of them were stunned, especially the Luo Sha quasi-emperor and Fei Yu, who were even more shocked. When they first met him, he wasn't so terrifying. How long has it been? Has his strength increased again? He's really weak. Lin Xian waved his hand, and a demonic zither appeared in front of him. This was formed by the demon emperor's ancient scripture. He played it gently. Song of the Demon. Overture of the Demon. A sound flew out from his hand, spreading in all directions. The two quasi-emperors' expressions changed drastically. They quickly retreated, but they were still hit. In an instant, their bodies were torn apart by this demonic sound, and they screamed as they retreated. Let's attack together. The three quasi-emperors of the flying fish race also narrowed their eyes. They didn't dare to be careless. A pair of terrifying wings appeared on their backs, and they rushed over like angels. Flying immortal palm, feather sword, finger of destruction. The three of them also struck out with terrifying immortal techniques. Heavenly water art. Lin Xian waved his embroidered robe, and terrifying seawater appeared, forming a huge whirlpool. Using softness to overcome strength, it enveloped the three of them. At the same time, his right hand played the song of the demon, Demon Kill. The murderous intent was like three sharp swords, splitting the 9 heavens. The three quasi-emperors vomited blood and retreated. Their faces were filled with horror. How can he be so strong? Can he fight against so many of us by himself? It's too unbelievable. The 5 of them were injured in the blink of an eye. They're really useless. Lin Xian shook his head slightly. Is there no one who can fight? The heaven thunder cauldron flew over. Useless thing. The 5 quasi-emperors' expressions were ugly, and the heaven thunder cauldron flew out. On top of it, the phantom of a giant elephant appeared, trampling on all directions. The resentment on its body was extremely terrifying. With a furious roar, the lightning on its body rushed over. As its feet pressed down, it was like a heavenly pillar. Although this sentence seemed like an illusion, it was really too terrifying. Oh no! Quasi-Emperor Mandela exclaimed again. I didn't expect the Heaven Thunder Cauldron to come personally. Be careful, this weapon is very terrifying. They warned. Lin Xian's face also darkened. You want to compete with me in terms of strength? He snorted coldly and executed the 9-yang divine body. He threw out a punch. The 9-yang divine fist was like a sun, soaring into the sky and colliding with the other party's foot. Immediately, thousands of lightning bolts appeared. The huge figure was directly sent flying, and cracks appeared on the heavenly jewel-like foot. Then it suddenly burst open, turning into lightning that filled the sky. What? It's repelled. The quasi-emperors of the flying fish race were dumbfounded. They were all crazy. This concrete phantom was so terrifying that they felt a chill down their spines when they brought it with them. This was the Heaven Thunder Cauldron that had personally condensed and formed a destructive power. They couldn't fight against it at all. But now it was sent flying by Lin Xian's punch. How terrifying was Lin Xian's strength? Could it be that he had really reached the level of young Master Tianji? Impossible! Young Master Tianji was the 6th Crown King, and he was an extremely terrifying existence among the 6 Crown Kings. This kid's aura was clearly only that of a 5 Crown King. He was definitely not a match for young Master Tianji. But what's with this punch? Did he use a secret technique? The surrounding people discussed animatedly, not daring to believe it. The huge statue also roared at the sky. Although he was just an illusion, he still felt pain. Damn it, attack together and kill him. His enormous figure condensed once again. The shattered foot recovered. It stepped into the sky. At the same time, the 5 quasi-emperors behind moved again. This time, they were going to cooperate with the huge statue to kill Lin Wudi. Lin Xian's face darkened. You dare to come again? Do you really think I don't dare to kill you? Lin Xian was also angered by these 5 quasi-emperors. Previously, he had only repelled them. However, these people didn't know what was good for them and dared to attack a second time. Since this was the case, there was no need for these people to live. Chapter 56-66. In the face of such a terrifying attack, Lin Xian did not retreat. Instead, he took the initiative to charge forward. Terrifying sword qi appeared on his body. but it was all split apart by the lightning that approached him. An expert with a sword? When the heavenly thunder colossus saw this scene, it snorted coldly. It seems that you should be a very powerful genius from the outside universe. Unfortunately, you met me. Our heavenly thunder sect is not something that you people from the outside universe can compare to. Therefore, you can only kneel in front of us. The colossus snorted coldly. It swung its trunk and released a terrifying sea of lightning, which turned into lightning laws that covered the sky and earth. The entire sky was completely shattered and turned into a black hole. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The other party was too reckless. There was a cold light flickering in his eyes. 10,000 swords convergence. This was an exceptional ability that he had just obtained. At this moment, he used it. Tens of thousands of sword chi swept out in all directions with him as the center. The surrounding thunderbolts were quickly destroyed. Even the few boundary emperors felt their scalps go numb. Cracks appeared on their bodies. Damn it, what is this thing? It's too terrifying. Boundary Emperor Fei Yu and the others went crazy. They had seen top-notch swordsmen before, but they had never seen one as terrifying as Lin Xian. This was enough to shatter everything. The heavenly thunder colossus's expression also became extremely ugly. Did the other party break his attack again? Moreover, he was a threat to him. Damn it, unforgivable. He roared and ordered the 5 boundary emperors. The 5 boundary emperors had no choice but to attack. In an instant, Boundary Emperor Fei Yu flew to Lin Xian's side. The wings on his back were like heavenly blades that kept flapping. The Rakshasa Boundary Emperor and the others also quickly rushed over. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He raised his right hand, and the demon god seal slammed down on Boundary Emperor Fei Yu's body. Boundary Emperor Fei Yu screamed. He tried his best to dodge, but under this attack, countless cracks appeared on his body. Then, with a loud boom, he shattered into pieces. With just one block, he was severely injured, and his entire body was sent flying. He roared with a face full of horror. When the 4 boundary emperors saw this scene, they were also stunned. This kid was actually so powerful. Boom! Lin Xian used the heavenly water art in his left hand, which turned into a boundless sea and slapped out. The Milky Way descended from the 9 heavens, sending the Rakshasa and quasi-emperors flying. The Rakshasa quasi-emperor's body was pierced through, and he was also severely injured. In just 2 moves, the 2 quasi-emperors were injured, and they had basically lost their combat prowess. The remaining 3 quasi-emperors felt their scalps go numb. At this moment, Lin Xian's body swayed, and the 10,000 ancestral swords rushed out, enveloping the injured Rakshasa and quasi-emperor Flying Fish. No, the 2 quasi-emperors screamed. They abandoned their bodies and fled with their souls. Save me! They sought help from the heavenly thunder cauldron. The heavenly thunder mammoth roared, "How dare you!" If Lin Xian killed 2 quasi-emperors in front of him, it would be a slap to his face. He would definitely not allow such a thing to happen. This time, he activated the heavenly thunder cauldron. This was an extremely powerful weapon. At this moment, the lightning on it became even more terrifying, as if it had turned into a heavenly tribulation and rushed out. However, it was still a step too late. Lin Xian's sword chi was extremely terrifying. Together with the 10,000 ancestral swords, he instantly killed the Rakshasa, quasi-emperor, and quasi-emperor Flying Fish. Their souls were pierced through and split into pieces. With a scream, the 2 quasi-emperors disappeared into thin air. Are they dead? When Mandela and the others saw this, they gasped. The remaining 3 were stunned. They were so scared that their bodies trembled. At this moment, they retreated frantically. They had no choice. The other party's methods were too terrifying. The 3 of them had never seen Lin Xian before, so they did not care about the various legends about Lin Xian. In their eyes, it was just an exaggeration. How powerful could a young man be? However, after seeing it, they were completely stunned. He was too powerful, and he could basically kill them instantly. How would they dare to fight against such an existence? Therefore, they kept retreating. If it weren't for the heavenly thunder mammoth, they would have escaped long ago. You dare to kill them? The heavenly thunder mammoth also roared crazily. He did not expect to be slapped in the face. He was incomparably furious and let out a thunderous voice that shattered the 9 heavens. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Not only will I kill them, but all my enemies will go to hell. Lin Xian turned his head and stared at the remaining 3 quasi-emperors. The 3 quasi-emperors quickly called for help, and the heavenly thunder mammoth also rushed over. Kid, you are too reckless. Thunder hell. With a roar, the lightning on his body kept spreading, forming a hell that enveloped the surroundings, including Lin Xian. Haha, kid, I am the ruler here. Die for me. He sneered, and the surrounding lightning turned into chains that swept towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian's speed was extremely fast. He rushed forward like a stream of light. 10,000 swords return. The lightning that surrounded him was all sent flying by the sword qi. Lin Xian charged towards Yulua. Yulua quickly retreated, wanting to escape, but he was pierced by Lin Xian's sword. His body was sent flying. Demonic tune, demonic shadow kill. Lin Xian activated his supreme magic, the demonic zither, and shot out a terrifying demonic shadow that rushed out in an instant. It shrouded his opponent. A scream was heard, and another quasi-emperor fell. *MN. The heavenly thunder mammoth was furious. It would never allow the other 2 to fall. He quickly rushed over. Although his body was huge, his speed was extremely fast. Everywhere it passed, the entire world cracked. At the same time, it mobilized the power of the entire thunder hell. Be suppressed. Countless elephant phantoms appeared in the thunder hell. Each one of them was like an immemorial mountain that pressed down mercilessly. Tens of thousands of swords, sword qi shocking the clouds. Tens of thousands of sword qi on Lin Xian's body quickly fused, and he slashed forward. The terrifying sword light tore the void open, bringing with it a destructive power that swept through everything. The phantoms of the giant elephants around continued to shatter. Boom! Roar! The heavenly thunder mammoth was also hit, and hundreds of cracks appeared on its body, splitting its body. It let out an angry scream. Lin Xian rushed over again. Demonic god's palm. One of his palms covered the sky and the earth, and the black palm covered the entire thunder hell. Then it covered the heavenly thunder mammoth and pressed it down hard. With a boom, the thunder hell was shattered. The heavenly thunder mammoth was pressed to the ground, unable to resist at all. Terrifying sword qi appeared in Lin Xian's other hand, and he slashed the other party's body. The heavenly thunder mammoth screamed, and its body turned into endless lightning that fused with the heavenly thunder cauldron. It roared at the sky. It was completely enraged. It lost its body, but it was still able to control the heavenly thunder cauldron. It quickly rushed over. Great! The remaining 2 quasi-emperors of the Flying Fish clan saw this scene and were overjoyed. The heavenly thunder cauldron was completely used this time. Even 6 Crown King would not be able to escape death. Chapter 56-67. The law of destruction continued to spread, like a peerless divine weapon, sweeping in all directions and charging towards Lin Xian. Go to hell! The heavenly thunder colossus laughed. He could already see that the other party was about to be torn apart. Lin Xian's face also darkened. A super powerful weapon? Competing with him in terms of weapons, the other party was courting death. A black vortex appeared on his body, and the power of extreme Tao emerged. The heaven-devouring jar was thrown out. In the next moment, the 2 collided. Useless kid, you can't block anything. This heavenly thunder cauldron is the treasure of our heavenly thunder tribe. Go to hell! Crazy laughter rang out. However, he was soon stunned. How is this possible? You're not dead yet. He discovered that the heavenly thunder cauldron collided with the black vortex, as if it had entered a quagmire. It did not cause any damage to Lin Xian at all. Impossible! The heavenly thunder colossus roared crazily. Damn it, what's going on? Break! How can a mere black vortex block my heavenly thunder cauldron? Lin Xian sneered. Stupid thing, so what if you're powerful? Can you compare to an extreme Dao weapon? Lin Xian's eyes erupted with cold killing intent. When the heavenly thunder colossus heard this, it was stunned. What? Extreme Dao weapon? That's impossible. How can you have an extreme Dao weapon? You're not from the Emperor race at all. He roared crazily, not believing it at all. However, Lin Xian had already taken out the heaven-devouring jar, and the aura of extreme Dao spread out. The heavenly thunder colossus went crazy. It was really an extreme Dao weapon. He turned around and fled. Damn it, who gave me the information? Didn't they say that this kid was an ant? Who gave him the extreme Dao weapon? Although the heavenly thunder cauldron was terrifying, it was nothing compared to an extreme Dao weapon. Therefore, he quickly fled. Don't you think it's too late to escape now? Lin Xian sneered. He waved the heaven-devouring jar, and a rumbling sound rang out. The black vortex enveloped the other party. As if it was a millstone that destroyed the world, the heavenly thunder let out a violent rumble. The light on it dimmed. The heavenly thunder gigantic elephant cried out miserably. No, spare me, I beg you, spare my life. I was just following orders. At this moment he became incomparably humble and begged for mercy. I can spare you, but only in the next life. In this life, go to hell. Lin Xian's eyes flashed with killing intent as he clapped his hands. A terrifying black storm emerged from the heaven-devouring jar, directly destroying the other party. With a miserable shriek, the heavenly thunder colossus fell. The entire heavenly thunder cauldron dimmed, as if it would shatter at any moment. Dead. Behind him, the two quasi-emperors of the flying feather race were so frightened that they immediately knelt on the ground. Young master, please spare our lives. We are willing to submit. They were really confused. Even such a terrifying weapon, like the heavenly lightning cauldron, could not do anything to the other party. No matter how they attacked, it would be futile. Therefore, they could only keep kowtowing. Lin Xian circled around the black vortex and walked over. He looked at the other party and said coldly, I once gave you a chance to follow me, but unfortunately, you didn't have a choice. Since you are my enemy, you have to pay the price for your choice. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the black vortex flew out and enveloped the two of them. The two of them screamed crazily, but they could not escape at all. In the blink of an eye, the two of them fell. Only a rain of blood fell between heaven and earth. Some people in the area below also knelt on the ground. They kept worshipping. Behind him, the two quasi-emperors were equally shocked. They quickly walked over and bowed deeply. Young master is mighty, we admire you. The two of them saw hope. With such strength, they could definitely sweep through. No matter how strong that young master Tianji was, he probably did not have an extreme weapon. Come, follow me to kill that heaven-ranked young master. When Lin Xian killed the quasi-emperor earlier, he had already used his Rinnegan to look at the other party's soul. He knew that young master Tianji was in the Rakshasa race. Therefore, he was heading over now. With a wave of his sleeve, Lin Xian put away the storage rings of the 5 fallen quasi-emperors and threw them into the sword world. Those forces split open to provide energy for the world. At the same time, it turned into a stream of light. Lin Xian kept shuttling back and forth. The black vortex on its body did not disappear. There was a lightning cauldron inside that kept bobbing up and down. It was the heavenly thunder cauldron. At this moment, there was an angry roar coming from it. It wanted to escape, but it was suppressed by the heaven-devouring pot. Lin Xian snorted coldly. No matter who it was, this cauldron could forget about going back. He could feel that the heavenly thunder cauldron had an extremely strong soul imprint on it. It was not something that young Master Tianji could have done. It should have been done by a super expert of the heavenly thunder race. However, no matter how strong the soul imprint was, so what? The heaven-devouring pot was an extreme weapon. Although it could not erase the soul now, it could suppress it. Seal advent for me. Lin Xian roared angrily. He directly sealed the heavenly thunder cauldron. Next, he increased his speed and flew towards the Rakshasa race. The Rakshasa race. Everyone stood there, respectfully. Above the 9 heavens was a lightning throne. The person sitting on it was young Master Tianji. Young Master Tianji's expression was incomparably leisurely. He was surrounded by many beautiful women of the Rakshasa race. It seemed that he was not worried about what happened before at all. In his opinion, with such a lineup, it was as easy as flipping his hand to catch an ant in the universe. When he arrived, he would use his methods to make the other party die in despair. The people of the Rakshasa race also sneered because they did not have any doubts either. Young Master Tianji's strength surpassed everything. Only behind young Master Tianji, the 4 quasi-emperors who were sealed by the thunder chains had faces full of despair. Was Lin Gongzi also going to die? They could not believe it. It seemed that no one could challenge young Master Tianji. Suddenly, in the depths of the Rakshasa race, 2 stone tablets shattered. The people of the Rakshasa race were stunned. They turned their heads, one after another. In the next moment, they exclaimed, "No!" Those elders rushed over one after another. After seeing the shattered stone tablets, they all went crazy. What was going on? Young Master Tianji also frowned. He was resting well. Who dared to disturb him? This was the ancestors' Tao tablet, which contained the ancestors' supreme great Tao. The tablet was here. Now that the tablet had shattered, could it be that the ancestor had died? They could not believe it. That was impossible. The 2 ancestors left with the heavenly thunder cauldron. With the heavenly thunder cauldron, who could threaten them? After young Master Tianji learned of this matter, his face also darkened. What was going on? The people of the Rakshasa race had died. Could it be that the other party was too powerful? His face was gloomy. In the next moment, he snorted coldly and summoned the heavenly thunder cauldron. Suddenly, his pupils constricted, and he stood up abruptly. In the surroundings, the beauties of the Rakshasa race were all blasted away and vomited blood. They knelt on the ground in horror. What happened? Who angered the young master? Chapter 56-68. Damn it, he couldn't contact the heavenly thunder colossus. Young master, Tianji frowned. How is this possible? With the heavenly thunder cauldron, the heavenly thunder colossus couldn't have died. What's going on? What happened in the distance? He used an immortal technique to summon the heavenly thunder cauldron, but it didn't come back for a long time. This time, he really couldn't calm down. Did the heavenly thunder cauldron disappear? Impossible. He soared into the sky, and the lightning on his body pierced in all directions. All the Rakshasa people knelt on the ground. They looked desperate. What happened? Could it be that there was a problem in the battlefield ahead and they didn't succeed? How strong is that person from outside the universe? They didn't dare to imagine. Young Master Tianji snorted coldly. I'd like to see what tricks you, Lin Wudi, have to be so difficult to deal with. Heavenly thunder wings appeared on his back, and he was ready to go. Suddenly, there was a sound of something breaking through the air in the distance. A black stream of light tore through the sky, and in the next moment, it stopped above the Rakshasa people. The demonic chi it brought turned into dark clouds and swept in all directions. The whole world darkened. At this moment, it seemed to have turned into a demonic realm. The Rakshasa people looked up at the sky in horror. What's that? It's too scary. Is the fiend god descending? Their bodies kept trembling, and even young Master Tianji frowned. Who are you? Is there a demonic master coming? Are you here to target me? In the demonic realm, there was a loud laugh. You want to kill me, but you don't even know who I am? Lin Wudi, it's you. After hearing this, young Master Tianji's pupils constricted, and he gritted his teeth and shouted. Lin Xian walked out of the demonic qi. Yes, it's me. The lineup you sent is really trash. They can't even block a few of my moves. I know you don't dare to go with your real body because you're afraid of me. But don't worry, I'm here to kill you personally. Lin Xian stared at young Master Tianji, and the corners of his mouth raised into a smile. Everyone's scalp went numb. What's the meaning of this? Are the 5 quasi-emperors all wiped out? Damn it, this is impossible. Those are 5 quasi-emperors. When they worked together, how horrifying was that? Furthermore, there was the Heavenly Thunder Colossus and the Heavenly Thunder Cauldron. With such a lineup, even killing 6 Crown King would not be a problem. But now they had all died, whereas the other party was still alive. What in the world happened? What kind of powerful trump card did this kid have? Could it be that this brat's strength was really above everything? Young Master Tianji's face turned cold. He didn't believe it. He would have believed it if the man had come from the depths of the celestial land. It was possible. However, the people in the outer universe were definitely not that powerful. You killed the Heavenly Thunder Colossus. Where did the Heavenly Thunder Cauldron go? Young Master Tianji roared crazily. Right now, he had no idea what was going on. To him, this was simply too shocking. Lin Xian sneered. You said I killed the demonic beast with one slap. As for the Heavenly Thunder Cauldron, is that it? He waved his hand, and a black vortex appeared in the sky, suppressing a lightning cauldron. Damn it, you dare to seal the Heavenly Lightning Cauldron? Young Master Tianji was completely stunned. How did the other party do it? Lin Xian waved his hand, and the black vortex disappeared. He smiled at him. Thank you for giving me this treasure. I'll take this Heavenly Thunder Cauldron. You're courting death. Young Master Tianji roared angrily and sent a palm strike over. Lightning flickered in his palm. Rushing thunder palm. This was an immortal technique, a peerless immortal technique. He didn't know how Lin Xian had sealed the Heavenly Thunder Cauldron. In his opinion, the other party must have an expert behind him. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to seal the Heavenly Thunder Cauldron with his strength alone. However, no matter who the other party was, he was dead for sure this time. Terrifying thunder exploded in the sky. This palm strike turned into a thunder immortal palm that swept out in all directions. The terrifying thunder immortal palm ruthlessly enveloped Lin Xian. Then it completely exploded, forming a destructive aura. The entire sky was completely shattered. The people of the Rakshasa race looked up at the sky. It was so terrifying. They all retreated to the edge, not daring to get close. Such power was enough to instantly kill an ordinary quasi-emperor. When Kaiser Blood and the others saw Lin Xian arrive, they were stunned. Lin Xian didn't die. Furthermore, he charged over. He must be here to save them. This was really great. They saw hope. However, after this palm strike, they fell into despair again. This was because young Master Tianji was really too strong. They could only shout, "Young Master, run quickly! Young Master, run!" Young Master Tianji was the 6th Crown King. Even among the 6 Crown Kings, he was an extremely strong existence. They definitely couldn't compete with him. However, before they could say anything, Lin Xian was enveloped by this palm strike. The 9 heavens and 10 lands shattered. This made the quasi-emperors of the blood race feel despair. Could it be that Lin Xian was killed by this palm strike? Humph! An ant that couldn't even withstand a single blow. Young Master Tianji's lips curled up. The other party couldn't even block one of his palm strikes. He was only SO. Earlier, he was so afraid. Now that he thought about it, it was laughable. He walked forward. Now that the other party was dead, he wanted to take back the sky thunder cauldron. Then he would kill everyone related to the other party and send them to the 18th level of hell. Is this your attack? What young master, Tianji? You're only SOO. You're really disappointing. At this moment, a voice came from the shattered void ahead. Young master, Tianji stopped. How could it be that kid's voice? That kid isn't dead yet? That's impossible. The other party blocked his palm strike. What kind of joke was this? He was the 6-crown king, while the other party was only the 5-crown king. The difference between the two of them was enough for him to kill the other party instantly. Just as he was surprised, Lin Xian walked out from the front. He wasn't injured at all. Young master Tianji shook his head slightly. Bring out your full strength. Otherwise, you're not worthy of being my opponent. Lightning immortal fist. Young master, Tianji roared and punched out. The terrifying fist seemed like it was going to tear Lin Xian's body to shreds. Lin Xian sneered. Heavenly water art. He formed a seal with his palm and released the illusory water, sweeping everything away. After the lightning immortal fist arrived, it was instantly enveloped and seemed to be unable to move forward. The heavenly water race's immortal technique can't compete with me at all. Heavenly thunder. Young master, Tianji roared. A heavenly thunder diagram formed in the sky. Terrifying heavenly thunder diagram fell from the sky. No, the people from the Rakshasa clan quickly ran away because this attack had enveloped them as well. Below, the Rakshasa race's spirit veins, mountains, rivers, and palaces were shattered. Some of the powerhouses who didn't manage to escape in time were instantly turned into ashes. This young master Tianji was a lunatic. He didn't care about anyone at all. Haha, kid, let's see how you're going to die this time. Young master Tianji's expression was ferocious. Anyone who dared to go against him would go to hell. The members of the blood tribe sucked in a breath of cold air when they saw this. They started to worry for Lin Xian again. Lin Xian looked up at the sky. Heavenly thunder, heavenly thunder? Humph! He waved his hand and the Tai Chi diagram flew out. It seemed to have turned into a world of yin and yang and rushed into the sky. Chapter 56-69. The yin-yang diagram rose into the air. The yin-yang aura on it turned into a mysterious world, resisting the heavenly lightning. The two collided, and the terrifying lightning was completely blocked by the yin-yang aura. Not a single bolt landed, not to mention injuring Lin Xian. Looking at this scene, Lin Xian's lips curled up in a smile. Can you destroy it? Damn it, he actually has such an ultimate technique. Heaven's fate's expression was also ugly. In the next instant, the great Tao appeared under his feet. Lightning interwove, and his body suddenly disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already behind Lin Xian. Another rushing thunder palm slammed over. This time, it hit Lin Xian's body, and a deafening sound rang out. He hit him. Young Master Tianji was overjoyed. Then his opponent could die. Endless lightning flashed, and the destructive power made any resistance despair. Lin Xian turned his head and looked at the other party with cold eyes. I've said before, your strength is only SOO. You won't be able to break my body. This is impossible. Seeing that this attack was ineffective, young Master Tianji was so frightened that he took 3 steps back. He was completely stunned. His rushing thunder palm was an immortal technique, and it hit 6-crown king, who was at the same level as him. Even 6-crown king vomited blood and was injured, let alone his opponent. However, his opponent's body actually didn't shatter. What kind of body was this? Lin Xian turned around and said in a low voice, "My body is called the 9-yang divine body. Remember it. Now, you can also take a punch. I will let you know the true power of the divine body." Lin Xian clenched his right fist, and the divine flame on it jumped. The divine flame imprint was also activated. He punched out, 9-yang divine fist. The vast fist turned into a sun and flew out, instantly hitting young Master Tianji's body. Young Master Tianji was sent flying. His body cracked and his bones shattered. His flesh and blood splattered everywhere. He fell in the Luo Sha race's territory, smashing countless palaces. A crack appeared on the ground. This is the power of the divine body. You can't do it. Lin Xian retracted his fist and said coldly as he looked down. The people of the Luo Sha clan were dumbfounded. Their opponent had actually suppressed young Master Tianji. The Blood Clan and the others were also shocked. Although they were also affected by this punch, they were really ecstatic. They saw a glimmer of hope. It turned out that young Master Tianji was not invincible. Lin Xian was completely capable of defeating his opponent. At this moment, 2 rays of light flew past in the distance. They were Datura and Xingqian. Their speed couldn't keep up with Lin Xian's, so they only arrived after the battle started. Just as they arrived, they saw Lin Xian send young Noble Tianji flying with a single punch. The 2 quasi-emperors were so scared that they stood there in a daze. Was this Lin Gongzi's strength? The 2 of them were terrified. Even those who had become great emperors back then were only at this level. From the ruins below, young Master Tianji rushed out. His broken body quickly healed, but his face became extremely ferocious. She was injured. She was actually injured by a single punch from the other party. He was inferior to the other party? Are you kidding me? I came from the depths of the celestial land. He could single-handedly defeat a group of 10 immortals. How terrifying was his strength! Those quasi-emperors had to lower their heads and kneel in front of him, but now he was injured. I don't believe it. He turned into a stream of light and rushed over in an instant. Immortal technique. Immortal thunder destruction. This time he struck out with both palms. Terrifying lightning runes appeared on his palms. It was enough to destroy everything. This time he could definitely break the 9-yang divine physique. Lin Xian looked at the incoming attack and his face darkened. Demonic qi emerged from his body. Divine ability, demonic world steel. It was also a peerless divine ability from the illusion demon scripture. Lin Xian raised his hands high and slammed them down. Demonic qi condensed in the sky, forming a black steel that was 10,000 meters tall. It looked like a black steel that was made by a demon god. It fell mercilessly. It collided with the other party. An earth-shattering sound was heard. Young Noble Tianji's body was sent flying again. This time, his hands were broken and turned into a bloody mist. Countless cracks appeared on his upper body. He fell to the ground. The Rakshasa clan was torn into pieces. The huge steel stood between heaven and earth, emitting an immortal aura. This attack was terrifying. This time, young Noble Tianji's injuries were worse. Blood kept flowing from the corner of his mouth. He was stunned. He lost. Did he lose again? What was going on? His opponent had completely suppressed him. This was unimaginable. I haven't lost yet. He struggled to stand up and said coldly, I still have a trump card. As he spoke, he waved his right hand and the 4 chains behind him danced. He grabbed Patriarch Tianshui and said coldly, Come here and kneel or I'll kill him. This scene stunned everyone. The Blood Clan and the others were also terrified. Was the other party going to make an example out of them? Mandela and the others in the sky also gasped. Would Lin Xian save them? Patriarch Tianshui was also in despair. Lin Xian had gained such an advantage. He probably wouldn't stop. Patriarch Tianji was likely to die. Brat, these are all your followers. Are you just going to watch them die like this? Are you still willing to follow him? Young Noble Tianji seemed to have gone crazy. This attack was very ruthless. Even if Lin Xian didn't stop, he could break the connection between Lin Xian and these boundary emperors. No one would follow Lin Xian. Kid, how are you going to choose? This seemed to be a problem for Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. Stupid thing. You're still playing tricks. You don't understand that everything is futile in the face of absolute power. Lin Xian's eyes emitted a terrifying light. 6 paths of reincarnation. Boom! The illusion of 6 worlds appeared and enveloped the celestial pole. His soul was impacted. It was as if a lightning hammer had struck him. He spat out a mouthful of blood and was sent flying. Soul attack. I was too careless. She didn't expect Lin Xian to use such an attack. This time he was even more severely injured. Lin Xian waved his hand. His sword technique was like a flying immortal. It directly broke the 4 lightning chains. The yin-yang image in the sky sent down yin-yang information. It enveloped the 4 boundary emperors and brought them to his side. The 4 boundary emperors were still in a daze. Lin Xian said, "Since you've become my followers, only I can decide your life and death. No one else can." Kaiser Blood and the others trembled. They bowed deeply to thank young master for saving their lives. From now on, we swear to follow young master. Patriarch Tianxue was even more grateful. He had really taken a trip to the gates of hell just now. All of you back off. I'll deal with it. Lin Xian waved his hand and asked the 4 boundary emperors to retreat. He then walked forward. Young noble Tianji was in a miserable state. Not only was his body severely injured, but his soul was also injured. Seeing Lin Xian walk over, young noble Tianji's body trembled. However, in the next moment he suddenly stood up. "I haven't lost yet. Let me show you what true lightning is." A lightning image appeared on his forehead. It was formed by interweaving lightning. There was a faint red color on it. The aura of a lightning tribulation was emitted from it. Chapter 5670. Was there a heavenly tribulation? Quasi-Emperor Mandela, the blood race, and the others were so scared that they knelt on the ground. This aura was really too terrifying. Lin Xian's expression also changed. It was a familiar aura. He snorted coldly, and the power of reincarnation in his eyes erupted, summoning the phantom of the reincarnation sword. A sword chi slashed through the air like the god of reincarnation. Boom! Ah! A violent explosion sounded. The reincarnation sword enveloped young Master Tianji. Young Master Tianji's expression was originally ferocious. In his opinion, he should be able to kill his opponent with his strongest trump card. But at this moment, his smile froze. This sword was too fast, so fast that it was unbelievable. His soul was split in half. The faint red lightning on his forehead also slowly disappeared. He fell to the ground on his back. It was over. The surrounding quasi-emperors were crazy. It was unbelievable that Lin Xian could break such a terrifying attack. The people of the Rakshasa race were even crazier. They felt despair. Lin Xian took a step forward and walked forward. He came to young Master Tianji's side. Young Master Tianji's glabella split open, and blood kept gushing out. He spat out a few words with difficulty. "I hate it. I was too careless. I didn't activate the heavenly thunder diagram. If I did, I wouldn't have lost so quickly. You won't be able to live if you kill me. The heavenly thunder tribe has countless experts, and it's not something you can imagine. Brat, be prepared to suffer the wrath of the heavenly thunder tribe." He still had a trump card, which was his family and background. Would young Master Tianji dare to kill him? Lin Xian smiled. "Are you threatening me? Don't worry, I won't kill you, but I will turn you into a puppet. It's a pity for an expert like you to die. You can be used by me." The power of reincarnation in Lin Xian's eyes became even more terrifying. No. At this moment, young Master Tianji was finally terrified. He thought of an outcome that was worse than death. He would be controlled by young Master Tianji. "You can't do this. The Heavenly Thunder Tribe will never let you go." He roared crazily. Of course, it was useless. Lin Xian's eyes summoned the 6 paths of reincarnation and enveloped young Master Tianji. In the next moment, the demonic qi on his body continued to condense. On Lin Xian's body, the the palm of a demon god appeared and grabbed his soul. Demon god curse. The Rinnegan and the magical ability of the devil, these two super powerful forces were integrated into the other party's soul. No matter how strong young Master Tianji was, there was no way he could fight back. His soul had been imprinted with a mark. Now he had become Lin Xian's puppet. A single thought from Lin Xian was enough to annihilate the other party. Taking a deep breath, Lin Xian withdrew his devil qi. On the ground, young Master Tianji struggled to get up. He knelt in front of Lin Xian and paid his respects to his master. This scene caused the surrounding quasi-emperors to be horrified. The celestial pole had actually become a puppet. This was too shocking. They were wondering how furious the Heavenly Thunder Clan would be when they learned about this. Would they send countless experts to kill Lin Xian? They wanted to persuade him, but when they saw Lin Xian's confident smile, they didn't say anything. Very well. Lin Xian nodded and waved his hand. Get up. Then he turned around and said to the boundary emperors around him, I don't want to see the Flying Fish Clan and the Rakshasa Clan anymore. You should know what to do. Yes, we know. Several boundary emperors rose into the air. They went to the Flying Feather Clan. When young Master Tianji received the order, he attacked the Rakshasa Clan crazily. Lin Xian put his hands behind his back and waited quietly. Those Rakshasa Clan people screamed and tried to escape, but it was useless. Young Master Tianji's strength and power made them despair. Their patriarch had chosen the wrong path, so they could only bear the anger. In the end, the Rakshasa Clan was destroyed. At the same time, news came that the Flying Fish Clan was also destroyed. The resources of the two chosen immortal clans were all sealed, waiting for Lin Xian to collect. Lin Xian waved his hand and created a black vortex, taking away all the resources of the two clans. Of course, he left some of them behind. He gave them to the boundary emperors who followed him. Those boundary emperors were also happy. Thank you, Lin Gongzi. Only by combining kindness and power could these people be more submissive. After all, Lin Xian couldn't turn everyone into a puppet. Having young Master Tianji as a puppet was enough. The destruction of the two chosen immortal clans set off a shocking storm that spread in all directions. In an instant, all the clans and sects in the nearby area learned about it. They were shocked. Oh God, did young Master Tianji lose? Did that person from outside the universe win? What was his name? Lin Wudi. Heaven, remember this person's name. He was too strong. Countless people were shocked. Some people were terrified. No, he was unlucky. He killed young Master Tianji, so the Heavenly Thunder Clan would definitely not let him go. No matter how strong young Master Tianji was, he was only a young man. If a true peerless powerhouse appeared, how could that kid from outside the universe resist? Countless exclamations sounded. Some were shocked, some were terrified, and some were sneering. Outside, the people of the Clan of the Ancients and the Monarch clans had different expressions after learning about it. Some people were terrified. Lin Wudi was getting stronger. Some people thought that Lin Xian was too arrogant. He was so presumptuous in the deity ground that they were afraid that he would soon die. Lin Xian didn't care. So what if they were from the Heavenly Thunder Clan? His opponent was the Otherworld Heavenly King. He even dared to seal the Otherworld Heavenly King. Why would he care about the Heavenly Thunder Clan? He let young Master Tianji recover his strength in the Rakshasa Clan. At the same time, he also unsealed the Heavenly Thunder Cauldron and gave it to him. It would be a great battle force for him. Besides, Lin Xian felt that it was about time to go to the depths of the deity ground. Although he couldn't enter the depths, he wouldn't stay at the edge of the deity ground. There were no more challenges here. If Lin Xian wanted to continue to break through, he would have to find more powerful forces in the deity ground. While young Master Tianji was recovering his strength, Lin Xian also entered the sword world. He also cultivated in the sword world for a while. The sword world had the power of divine fire, So the divine fire seed between Lin Xian's eyebrows became brighter. It became brighter. Lin Xian ate a new divine fruit. His strength became stronger again. At the same time, the news here was spread to the depths of the deity ground. There was a space in the depths of the path of immortality. Tens of thousands of lightning bolts gathered there. It was like the palace of the thunder god. At this moment, an angry voice came from there. Did Tianji die? Did the heavenly thunder cauldron also disappear outside? Damn it! It was the heavenly thunder clan. At this moment, the people of the heavenly thunder clan were incomparably angry. Who was it? He was so reckless that he dared to make a move against the celestial fate and even succeeded. Impossible. An old man frowned. Tianji had the heavenly thunder cauldron. Even if he met Seven Crown King, he could still leave calmly. Who was it? Did some great emperor clan use their extreme weapons? Damn it, don't let me know who it is. Otherwise, I'll make him suffer. Chapter 56-71. At this moment, an old voice came from one of the great halls of the Sky Thunder tribe. Tianji didn't die. His soul had been suppressed by someone. Save Tianji and bring back the Sky Thunder cauldron. This time an old man walked out. This old man's aura was extremely terrifying. It was the Seven Crown King. It seemed that the Sky Thunder tribe was going to send out a real, peerless expert this time. There would be a storm at the border of the deity ground. Not long after the old man left, a figure came out. Outside the Sky Thunder tribe, a figure walked in. This figure was incomparably majestic. He looked like a god of war. Who are you? The Sky Thunder tribe's guardian rushed out and shouted coldly. Who are you? How dare you come here? The Sky Thunder tribe was extremely terrifying. They belonged to the Permethar realm. Who dared to challenge them at this time? The god of war said coldly, How dare you work for the Permethar realm? You want to break the seal? You don't need to exist anymore. As he spoke, he raised his hand and slapped forward. How ridiculous! How dare you threaten us? The guardians in front sneered. However, when the palm came out, they were completely stunned. No, this power! They were terrified and wanted to run away. However, their bodies cracked and turned into blood mist in an instant. They no longer existed. Next, the array formation of the entire mountain gate was broken apart by the endless lightning. The palm was like the palm of a god. Wherever it passed, no one could resist it. Inside the Sky Thunder tribe, the ground cracked, the sky shattered, and the palace collapsed. It was like the end of the world. What happened? The people of the Sky Thunder tribe also flew into the sky. The young disciples were terrified, but the old men were furious. A strong enemy was coming. At the same time, the Sky Thunder tribe's patriarch walked out of the palace in the sky. There were many powerful elders beside him. These people snorted coldly. How dare you come to the Sky Thunder tribe to behave so atrociously? Endless lightning appeared on their bodies, and the sky was filled with a sea of lightning. These people charged out like the god of thunder. However, not long after, the god of war's palm pushed forward. Everything that was enveloped by the palm turned into ashes. It didn't matter if you were a young genius or a peerless expert. Everything turned into ashes. No. What kind of power was this? A seven-crown king's body split apart, only his head remaining. He released a roar of horror. However, his head was also reduced to ashes. Everyone went crazy. The Heavenly Thunder clan was terrifying. Any random expert would be able to sweep through an entire region. But now a single person, a single palm, wanted to wipe out more than half of the Sky Thunder tribe. The patriarch of the Heavenly Thunder tribe was no longer calm. Let me do it. A terrifying Heavenly Thunder diagram appeared between his eyebrows, and even a trace of red lightning appeared. The clan leader was also a seven-crown king, and he was already very terrifying among seven-crown kings. He was not far from 8 crown kings. At this moment, when he attacked with all his might, it was truly earth-shattering. The heavenly thunder scepter appeared in his hand. Beneath his feet was a terrifying sea of lightning, and in the sky was a terrifying lightning diagram. He wanted to use his strongest power to fight against it. The 24 elders around him continued to work together and unleashed all of their powers. Red lightning gathered on each of their foreheads. These lightning bolts combined to form a trace of the power of the heavenly tribulation. Kill these experts! Yang Tian shouted angrily. This power was too strong, far surpassing the previous chosen immortal clans. However, that godlike palm was even more terrifying. It was as though it was an invincible existence. Wherever it passed, the red lightning bolts were also extinguished. The bodies of the 24 elders split apart, turning into a bloody mist. The patriarch of the heavenly thunder tribe was trembling. A palm print appeared on his body and pierced through it. He could feel his vitality quickly disappearing. Impossible. They had already gathered the power of the entire tribe and unleashed their strongest attack. They had even summoned the heavenly tribulation. Could it be that they still could not do anything to the other party? Who exactly was this person? How could a palm be so terrifying? In the end, he was only left with a broken soul. He looked up and roared. He was unwilling to accept this. Who exactly are you? Outside the Sky Thunder tribe, the tall man spoke coldly. I am Linjan. All of you are working for Higan. You deserve to die. As his voice landed, the godlike palm completely covered the entire Sky Thunder tribe. The patriarch's soul was also completely destroyed. Under this palm, the entire Sky Thunder tribe was destroyed. Boom! 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 Endless lightning bolts pierced through the sky. The scene attracted the attention of the other clans. In the depths of the deity ground, the Sky Thunder tribe was not the only clan. There were also other clans and sections. The clans and sects were very far away from each other. This was because the area they occupied was too vast. Hence, the commotion could only be seen from a distance by others using arrays. It was the Sky Thunder tribe. What a terrifying energy fluctuation. What was the Sky Thunder bead doing? Could it be that they had found some powerful resources? The people of the other clans were shocked. Lin Zhan looked at the destroyed Sky Thunder tribe and turned to leave. After a long time, the experts of the other clans came to take a look. They came to congratulate the Sky Thunder tribe because it was not only the Sky Thunder tribe that was working for Higan. Some other clans had received orders to gather resources. However, their progress was not fast. They did not expect the Sky Thunder tribe to gather such a powerful force so quickly. These people were envious. They came to congratulate the Sky Thunder tribe and wanted to ask about their experience. However, when they arrived at the Sky Thunder tribe, they were all stunned. What did they see? The majestic Heavenly Thunder clan no longer existed. Instead, it was replaced by a fragmented space. The ground was shattered and the sky was cracked. It was a scene of destruction. There was no one left in the Sky Thunder tribe. They were destroyed. The Sky Thunder tribe was destroyed. These people were terrified. They felt as if they were facing a great enemy who could destroy the Sky Thunder tribe in the blink of an eye. Some people were even more terrified. Look at the ground. Is that a palm print? Someone destroyed the Sky Thunder tribe with a palm print. Several peerless experts and super mighty figures went crazy. Did a great emperor make a move? In their opinion, only a great emperor could destroy the Sky Thunder tribe with a single move. Otherwise, who could be so terrifying? Who did the Sky Thunder tribe offend? That was not right. The Sky Thunder tribe was supported by the Higan Heavenly King. Even a great emperor had to be wary of the Higan Heavenly King. Even if a great emperor appeared, he would not dare to make a move on the Sky Thunder tribe. Could it be? They thought of a possibility. Then they gasped. Were those people outside finally here? Were they from the deity plane? These people were terrified because the only enemy of the Higan, heavenly king, was the deity plane. However, wasn't it destroyed in the past? Could it be that these people were making a comeback? Go and investigate. Hurry up and investigate. These super mighty figures and peerless experts left quickly. This news was too shocking. A shocking battle was about to break out. Chapter 56-72. The families in the depths of the deity ground were frantically searching for information. One by one, the reports came back. The deity ground had descended. The families of the great emperors had entered, and the ancient figures had also entered. It seemed that the people from the god realm had really come. They were extremely shocked. At the same time, they found out that the Sky Thunder Clan had sent a young Master Tianji to the border of the deity ground to collect resources. Young Master Tianji was extremely arrogant, and countless people knew about it. Damn it, the Sky Thunder Clan was really crazy. Shouldn't this kind of thing be done secretly? Why did they make such a big fuss? This time, the supreme experts from the god realm knew about it. How could they not be destroyed? Some families said, "We're working for the Permethar realm, so we should be very low-key. We can't be targeted by the god realm. Do you hear me?" These people became even more careful. At the same time, they used a method to spread the news to the Permethar realm. The Permethar realm. It was really a paradise on earth. A handsome young man was holding an immortal book scroll with a panicked expression on his face. It was not easy to pull. He came to an immortal palace. What's the matter? In the immortal palace, a man with a white face and no beard was sitting cross-legged. He did not open his eyes and asked indifferently. The handsome young man said, "The Sky Thunder Clan was destroyed." What? In front of him, the white-faced man suddenly opened his eyes. A powerful immortal technique swept across the land. The handsome young man was so frightened that he knelt on the ground, holding the scroll with both hands. Who did it? He did not know the details. It seemed that someone had destroyed it with a palm strike. It might be the god realm. The specific information was in the scroll. The white-faced man grabbed it. After opening it, his face became gloomier. He continued to investigate the matter. At the same time, he informed the families outside to be careful and to speed up. Yes, the handsome young man quickly turned and left. The white-faced man took a deep breath. He left the immortal palace and flew further away. The entire Permethar realm was incomparably vast. The place he occupied was just the most ordinary one. Although he was an 8-crown king, he was nothing in the Permethar realm, because there was a real great emperor here. When the news reached the ears of the supreme existences, their faces turned gloomy. The angriest one was a half-frog. Its huge body covered the sky and the earth. The people on the Permethar realm were frightened. The green-robed great emperor was angry. "God realm, don't let us catch you. When we get out, we will turn you into ashes." A cold voice resounded throughout the world. At the other side, within the vast mountains, an old man was flying at high speed. Suddenly, he stopped and looked into the distance in bewilderment. The space between his brows split open, and terrifying blood dripped out. He was none other than the 7-crown king sent by the Heavenly Thunder Clan. Earlier, he had left in advance and dodged that sure-kill palm strike. At this moment, he looked into the distance and felt a wave of fear. What was going on? He felt as if his family no longer existed. Impossible. His order was to kill Lin Xian, but at this moment he didn't go. Instead, he returned to his family. He had a bad premonition. He had to find out what had happened to his family. When he arrived, he was completely dumbfounded. The Heavenly Thunder Clan had long ceased to exist. In front of him was a wasteland. Where were the people of the Heavenly Thunder Clan? Where's the patriarch? Where are the elders? 7-crown king had gone completely mad. It hadn't been long since he left, and his family had been destroyed. What was going on? He roared at the sky as if he had gone mad. Another person had gone mad as well. That was Fei Jiuxiao. when Fei Jiuxiao heard the news of his family's destruction. He was so frightened that he knelt on the ground. His friends beside him were also stunned. What was going on with young Master Fei? Fei Jiuxiao was even more furious. Impossible! You're lying to me. How could my family be destroyed? He had been collecting information. When he found out that the Flying Fish clan had been destroyed by the combined efforts of several quasi-emperors, he was completely dumbfounded. At the same time, the others also found out that the Flying Fish clan had submitted to the Heaven's Fate Young Master. The Heaven's Fate Young Master had already been defeated by Lin Wuti. The Flying Fish clan had chosen the wrong path and was naturally destroyed. It was that brat. When Fei Jiuxiao thought of Lin Xian, he felt a wave of despair. Previously, this person had been disdainful. But now, it seemed that this was the true killing god. Run. He had to run. At the thought of this, Fei Jiuxiao hurriedly fled. The Gu clan, Yi clan, Phoenix clan, and Qilin clan had also received the news. They were also shocked. Lin Wuti seemed to have become even more terrifying. However, the Qilin clan snorted coldly. So what? Now, there were already 4 quasi-emperors in the Qilin clan. Their strength had become even stronger than before. With extreme weapons in hand, they were not weaker than anyone else. Indeed, during this period of time, the great emperor clans had swept across all directions. Moreover, they had an agreement with each other that each of them would choose a direction. Therefore, there were no battles or conflicts between the great emperor clans. This way, their speed of improvement was extremely fast. There were 4 quasi-emperors in the Qilin clan and 3 in the Kuinpeng clan. The Yi clan and the Phoenix clan also had 3 quasi-emperors. The speed of these emperor clans was extremely fast. There were even quasi-emperors in the clan of the ancients. On the Divine Union's side, at the same time, a terrifying aura could be felt. A figure carrying an endless amount of frost energy rushed into the clouds. Then, endless lightning bolts descended and terrifying flames spread between heaven and earth. The people of the Divine Union were terrified. What was this? Was someone attacking? No, Fu Hongye exclaimed. Someone was breaking through. Shangguan Shaoxian was also delighted. It was Xueqi. The Crimson Dragon also walked over with a surprised look on his face. Was she about to break through and become a quasi-emperor? That's right. After Xueqi obtained the Supreme Bone, she went into seclusion to cultivate. That was the Supreme Bone of a Nining body. It contained an extremely mysterious power. Xueqi also cultivated the Nining body. Finally, she broke through. It seems like I have to stay here for a while. The Crimson Dragon also wanted to leave. However, after seeing Xueqi break through, he decided to stay here and protect her. He set up a formation to cover everything. He would enter the deity land after Xueqi finished breaking through. In the deity land, the people of the 6 great clans were also extremely nervous. Although they had dodged young Master Tianji's attack, they knew that an even greater fury was coming. That was the Heavenly Thunder clan's true peerless powerhouse. How terrifying would such a person be? They did not dare to imagine. Lin Xian also knew this. He said, "Don't worry. Prepare the resources. When he comes, I will kill him with an extreme weapon." His eyes shone with a sharp radiance. The people of the 6 quasi-emperors were delighted. That's right. Lin Xian still had an extreme weapon. If he used it, they might be able to contend against him. The 6 great clans quickly transferred their resources. However, after waiting for a month, young Master Tianji did not come. What was going on? They sent people to investigate. Finally, they received a piece of shocking news. Chapter 56-73. Lin Gongzi, something bad has happened. The blood race and the others rushed over. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Is the enemy here? His eyes shone with a cold light. Let's fight. He had met all kinds of experts along the way. He was not afraid of the peerless experts in the depths of the deity ground. His battle intent burst out. However, the blood race said, "No, Lin Gongzi, no one is here." Lin Xian was puzzled. "Then what is it?" Quasi-Emperor Mandala told him a piece of shocking news. The Heavenly Thunder clan was destroyed. Destroyed? Lin Xian was stunned. "What does that mean?" Quasi-Emperor Mandela said, "Young master, as you understand, the Heavenly Thunder clan no longer exists. They were destroyed. They were destroyed, just like the Rakshasa clan." Lin Xian was completely stunned. No way. According to these quasi-emperors, the Heavenly Thunder clan is extremely terrifying. Even young Master Tianji is so terrifying. The combat power of the entire Heavenly Thunder clan is terrifying. It is said that the Heavenly Thunder clan has more than one seven-crown king. It would be difficult for me to defeat such a terrifying clan, even if I have an extreme weapon, not to mention destroying such a clan. Who did it? Could it be an enemy of the Heavenly Thunder clan in the depths of the deity ground? In his opinion, such a family should have enemies. Perhaps he was just lucky. I don't know. Kaiser Blood shook his head. We sent people to find out. Under normal circumstances, we didn't have much hope. With our clan strength, it's impossible for us to enter the depths of the deity ground. But the news of the Heavenly Thunder clan's destruction is too big. The people in the depths of the deity ground spread the news, and many clans went crazy. So when this news spread, we also heard that it was destroyed by a palm. But we don't know who it was. Destroyed by a palm. Lin Xian was shocked. Such a terrifying clan was destroyed by a palm. Could it be a great emperor? The depths of the deity ground were really terrifying. Lin Xian was probably unable to enter now. The surrounding quasi-emperors were also shocked. Indeed, in their eyes, the person who destroyed the Heavenly Thunder clan with a single palm strike was probably a true immortal. But no matter who did it, they were incomparably happy because they were finally out of danger. Now that the Heavenly Thunder clan was annihilated, they could rest easy. Lin Xian also heaved a sigh of relief. Indeed, there was no need to fight this battle. However, he still said, send some people to gather as much information as possible. At the same time, he wanted to see if any mysterious people had appeared in this area recently. He guessed that the annihilation of the Heavenly Thunder clan was definitely something terrifying. It might even have been done by the human sovereign, his father, Sixth Master, or one of these people. These people were all from the outer universe. Therefore, in order to understand the situation, the people in the depths of the deity ground would definitely send people out to investigate. He wanted these clans to pay more attention and gather more information. Don't worry, young master, we will do it right away. The quasi-emperors left. They mobilized the power of their clans and began to gather information. Gradually, the news spread to the periphery of the deity ground. Other than the 6 great clans, the other clans also learned about it. Even the clan of the ancients and the monarch clans in the outer universe learned about it. They were also stunned. Someone destroyed a top clan in the depths of the deity ground with a single palm strike. It was really unbelievable. In an instant, countless people were investigating. They were all guessing who exactly was the person. At the same time, the great emperor clans also took a deep breath. The deity ground was much more terrifying than they had imagined. There were mysterious and unknown existences inside, so they were even more careful. This incident caused a huge storm that swept in all directions. At the same time, there were new changes in the deity ground. Some of the more mysterious places had their seals removed. On this day, in a certain area of the deity ground, there was shocking news. Another terrifying relic had appeared. It turned out that everyone was trying to gather information about the Heavenly Thunder clan, so they were heading deeper into the deity ground. However, the deity ground was too vast. Finally, when they reached a certain area, some experts were resting here. However, at night, the ground cracked and a crack appeared on the mountain peak. A terrifying soul aura spread out. In an instant, the souls of thousands of experts around were destroyed, turning into blood mist and no longer existed. There were even boundary emperors among them. This news immediately alarmed others, and countless people came over. They found that the crack on the mountain peak was getting bigger and bigger, and the soul power that flowed out from it was getting more and more terrifying. This time, countless experts were alarmed. They were no longer searching for information about the Heavenly Thunder Clan, but about the mysterious mountain peak. More and more experts gathered around. They did not dare to get close and could only wait patiently. Finally, they found that the mountain peak had cracked open and a canyon had appeared. There seemed to be an ancient cave residence inside. The aura that came from the entrance of the cave was extremely terrifying. It even emitted a monstrous emperor's aura that made the surrounding boundary emperors kneel down. Those boundary emperors trembled in fear. They were ecstatic. This was the aura of a great emperor. This was a great emperor's tomb. A great emperor's tomb had appeared. This news instantly spread and swept through everything. After the chosen immortal clan received the news, they were also in an uproar. They were extremely excited. Exploring a great emperor's tomb was definitely a heaven-defying fortune. The remote antiquity family and great emperor family of the universe were also happy. They knew that their opportunity had come, especially those great emperor family. Their eyes were shining with a sharp light. They could obtain great fortune from a new great emperor's tomb. It might even increase the number of boundary emperors in their family again. The people of the 6 great families also received the news and immediately sent back. The 6 boundary emperors were shocked. They immediately went to look for Lin Xian. When they found Lin Xian, the 6 boundary emperors told him the news. Lin Xian was stunned when he heard that. The tomb of a great emperor was indeed a piece of surprising news. Lin Xian had entered the Dragon Emperor's tomb before. He had obtained a lot of good things from it. Lin Fan wondered which great emperor's tomb this time belonged to. He was looking forward to it, to be able to be buried in the deity ground. It should be a great emperor of the deity ground. However, he frowned slightly. Why was it outside? Shouldn't it be in the depths of the deity ground? At this time, Boundary Emperor Mandala said, "Young master might not know. The entire deity ground was incomparably mysterious. Someone had once dug out a ruin and a few ancient coffins at the edge of the deity ground. After opening it, there were actually 3 terrifying 8-crowned kings sweeping through the area. It was even said that someone had dug out the relics of great emperors at the edge of the deity ground. Therefore, there were mysterious places everywhere in the deity ground. However, the living existences were usually in the depths of the deity ground. It was really mysterious. Lin Xian was surprised when he heard this. At the same time, he was also looking forward to it. If the sword world in his body were to be dug out, would something mysterious appear? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes, because when he was in the sword world, he either absorbed the power of the sword world or consumed the spirit fruits that grew in the sword world. He had never thought that there would be something buried under the ground of the sword world. This gave her a new train of thought. When he had the chance, he really had to go in and take a look. Chapter 56-74. Next, Lin Xian and the others prepared to head to the great emperor's tomb to investigate. The preparation was left to the 6 great clans. Lin Xian began to enter the sword world to investigate, to see if there was anything mysterious buried under the ground of the sword world. Soon he was surprised. He realized that this world was really too hard. Even if he wanted to dig a hole here, it would not be easy. However, he would not give up so easily. About 5 days later, the blood ancestor came. He said Lin Gongzi had almost finished his investigation. The place where the great emperor's tomb appeared was in the immortal soul realm, which was quite a distance away from the edge of the immortal ground. Therefore, those people were prepared to take the immortal spirit boat. The immortal ground was very vast. Other than the core area, The other areas were divided into many regions. The area where Lin Xian was now was considered the edge of the immortal ground. If he went further in, it would be the immortal soul realm. All right, you arrange it. Lin Xian walked out of the teaching world and said in a deep voice, Blood Kaiser said that we want to go up to the younger generation to accompany young master. You go first, we will follow behind. No problem. Lin Xian naturally knew what these quasi-emperors were thinking. These quasi-emperors wanted their juniors to follow by their side. They might be able to make a meteoric rise. Lin Xian did not refuse. About a day later, a few young people came. Lin Xian knew some of them. For example, Blood Sword, Kuang Yiming, young Master Shinli, and others. Shui Yunru also came. There were also some that Lin Xian did not know. One was called Xinghai, and the other was called Ziyin. They were the descendants of Star, Quasi-Emperor, and Mandela, Quasi-Emperor. The few of them bowed respectfully to Lin Xian. They were incomparably excited. To be able to follow by Lin Xian's side was a blessing that they had cultivated for several lifetimes. Let's go. Lin Xian waved his hand and led everyone away. Of course, this time it was only one of his law avatars. His true body was still digging a hole in the sword world. This time, there was no need for Lin Xian's true body to appear. The group of people got on the immortal spirit boat and set off. The immortal spirit boat was very vast. Other than Lin Xian and the others, there were many people. Obviously, the families and sects at the edge of the immortal ground. Even the people from the outside universe wanted to explore. Moreover, this was only the first immortal spirit ship. Other than that, there would probably be many more spirit ships and immortal spirit chariots that would follow. The interior of the immortal spirit boat was also incomparably spacious. Given the status of Lin Xian and the others, they naturally asked for a superior room. There were many bedrooms, a cultivation areas, and a restaurant. A place. If you have any needs, you will be the immortal's ground. Ziyin and the others were still very nervous. Shui Yunru, on the other hand, was very calm. This was not the first time she had been by Lin Xian's side. After Lin Xian gave a few instructions, these people began to do their own things. During this time, Ziyin and Shui Yunru went to the restaurant to get some food and spirit wine for Lin Xian. A few people saw the whole process. They were shocked. What a beautiful woman! Shui Yunru and Ziyin were both very beautiful. Even among these geniuses, they could be seen at a glance. Of course, some people knew the identity of Shui Yunru and the others and did not dare to be presumptuous. However, there were still a few people hiding in the darkness with sneers on their faces. They secretly formed seals with their palms and took out a black bell. They began to transmit the seal. Senior brother, there are a lot of fat sheep in this spirit boat. There are also a few beautiful fairies. You must stop them. In 3 days, we should reach the broken soul cliff. After the transmission, the black-robed man put away the bell, and the corners of his mouth curled up into a sneer. The next 2 days passed peacefully, but on the 3rd day Yi Zichen was shocked. On the 3rd day, the helmsman of the immortal spirit boat walked out and said, "Everyone be careful. The broken soul cliff is in front of us. It is extremely dangerous. Even the immortal spirit boat will probably shake a little. Don't panic." The broken soul cliff. Lin Xian's clone opened his eyes and asked, "Where is this place?" Ziyin walked over and said, "I heard from the old ancestor that the broken soul cliff is very terrifying. Back then, a peerless expert fought here, and his soul was destroyed. This place has formed a terrifying terrain that can destroy the soul of a person. It has an extremely strong, murderous intent. Although tens of thousands of years have passed, it is still a very dangerous place." Lin Xian nodded, but he didn't mind. He had entered the tomb of a great emperor, so he did not care about the broken soul cliff. However, he did not know that in another room, a few black-robed men were sneering. Extremely terrifying, murderous intent bloomed in their eyes. There was chaos in front of them. There was an extremely strong, murderous aura between heaven and earth that swept across heaven and earth. Entering this place would probably cause a violent impact. There were countless mountains around, but there was a place where there was a cliff that seemed to have been cut off by a sword. This was the Broken Soul Cliff. At this moment, a group of people appeared around the Broken Soul Cliff. These people were wearing blood-red robes, and the murderous intent in their eyes was extremely terrifying. The leader was a man with a pair of blood-red eyes. Even his hair was red. It seemed to be weaved by a river of blood. His name was Schwemming. There were many experts around him. These people had cold expressions. Suddenly, the man with the 3 blood-red runes on his face next to him spoke. "It's here." Schwemming waved his hand and set up an array. The surrounding people dispersed and stood on different mountain peaks. At the same time, a terrifying sea of blood rushed out from their bodies. Each of them had a blood-red flag in their hands that suppressed heaven and earth. The terrifying blood aura shot into the sky and formed a blood-red shark in the sky. It swept across tens of thousands of miles, opened its bloody mouth, and directly let out a terrifying roar. It shook heaven and earth. The immortal spirit boat was also violently shaken by this impact. Above it, countless formations appeared, flickering and flickering. The people in the immortal spirit boat also shook, and countless people opened their eyes. What happened? The helmsman frowned and said loudly, "Everyone, don't panic. Someone is attacking us, but it's okay. With the immortal spirit boat's defense, we can rush over." Hearing this, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. They had already known that they would pass by the Broken Soul Cliff this time, so they took the immortal spirit boat. According to their understanding, there was no need to worry this time. However, at this moment, 3 black-robed men in the immortal spirit state sneered. They came near the immortal spirit boat's defensive array. They struck out a terrifying law. A rumbling sound rang out, and the immortal spirit boat exploded with a deafening sound. The helmsman's expression changed. Not good. Someone was destroying the array from inside. The situation was dangerous. Sure enough, before long, cracks appeared on the immortal spirit boat's array. The group of people wearing blood-red robes outside seized the opportunity. The array was activated again, and a monstrous blood-red shark swallowed the immortal spirit boat. Chapter 5675. Countless cracks appeared on the immortal spirit ship, and the expressions of the people inside changed. What was going on? Could it be that the immortal spirit ship was broken through? It was too unbelievable. At this moment, a cold voice came from outside. "Everyone inside, come out, or you will be killed." Everyone was terrified. However, someone sneered. It was a middle-aged boundary emperor. He roared and tore open the void, wanting to leave. At this moment, the terrifying blood-red light in the sky formed a blood-divine spear. It pierced down and nailed the Boundary Emperor's body in the void. The Boundary Emperor let out a miserable cry. The surrounding people sucked in a breath of cold air. A peerless expert who could easily pierce through a Boundary Emperor. The situation was not good. Blood Sword frowned. "I can feel a terrifying blood aura outside." Kwang Yidao also said, "Should we attack? We should ask the young master about this." They all looked at Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian closed his eyes, because Lin Xian's real body had a new discovery in the sword world. He had been digging holes in the sword world for a long time, but to no avail. Finally, at that moment, he used the Great Destruction Spear to strike down, making a clanging sound. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. He knew that he had really found something this time. Beside him, Little White was also dancing with joy. The remnant soul of the Hellfire Dragon was also circling around. There really was something. He did not waste his energy for the past few days. Lin Xian also smiled. Let's see what it is. However, the process was even slower. It seemed that even with his strength, he could only dig it out bit by bit in the divine domain. At this crucial moment, why would Lin Xian care about what was happening outside? Shui Yunru and the others saw that Lin Xian did not react, so they did not dare to rush him. They could only wait here. After the first Boundary Emperor tried to break out, 2 more Boundary Emperors tried, but they were all beaten back. The other people were terrified because they could feel the Blood Fiend's aura continuously pouring in. They had no choice but to walk out obediently. Lin Xian's clone still had its eyes closed as if it was asleep. Shui Yunru and the others used their laws to form a throne. It carried Lin Xian. They carried Lin Xian out. Once they were outside, everyone felt the pressure increase. Previously, they had the immortal spirit boat to help them resist the pressure, so they could not feel it. But now they realized that the broken soul cliff was too terrifying. If they were not careful, even a Boundary Emperor could die here. There were quite a few fat sheep. A few blood-robed people appeared in front of them. Their killing intent was extremely terrifying. The surrounding people also exclaimed after seeing this. One of them frowned and asked, "Who are you?" "We are all geniuses and experts of the chosen immortal race." With so many immortals chosen together, can you afford to offend them? Clearly, this was the cold voice of a certain genius from the chosen immortal race. He was threatening the other party. The blood-robed man in front sneered. Even if all the chosen immortal clans in the border region were to join forces, how could they contend against the soul-slaying divine sect? What, kill a soul ancestor? After hearing this, the Boundary Emperor's faces instantly turned ugly. This was because the soul-slaying divine sect was an extremely terrifying sect in the immortal soul realm. It was much stronger than the chosen immortal race. Moreover, these people cultivated the Tao of slaughter. Each of them was ruthless and merciless. They did not expect to meet them here. After the others learned of the situation, their faces also turned ugly. On Lin Xian's side, Blood Sword's brows were tightly knitted. He also cultivated the Blood Fiend Qi. He could clearly feel that the people in front of him were far stronger than him. Even if his grandfather, Blood Kaiser, was here, it would probably be difficult for him to contend against them. Especially in front of them, there was a man with his hands behind his back. He had blood-red eyes and blood-red hair. He looked like a god of slaughter. He stood between heaven and earth, causing their hair to stand on end. It seems that he has heard of the soul-slaying divine sect. That's good. My name is Seventh Slayer. Hand over your storage rings, and I'll let you live. After hearing this, everyone frowned. Did the other party want to snatch their treasures? What a good plan. Damn it. Why should we give them to him? That's right. What's so great about killing soul-slaying divine sects? Some people muttered in a low voice. Others gritted their teeth and secretly sent voice transmissions. Let's escape together. There were so many of them. Were they afraid of him? Everyone attack. As soon as he finished speaking, hundreds of figures rose into the air and flew in different directions. These people were very fast. The weakest were triple crown champions, while the strongest were quadruple crown champions. Among them, there were even a few Boundary Emperors hiding. This shocking scene caused the others to exclaim in surprise. These people were so smart. They were one step too late. These people wanted to escape. But at this moment, the seventh Slayer on the other side laughed coldly. What a reckless fool! How dare you escape in front of me? It seems that there is no need for you to live. He shouted angrily, and a blood-red long saber appeared in his hand. The soul-slaying saber. With an angry shout, it turned into thousands of blood-red saber lights that covered the sky and the earth, enveloping the hundreds of figures. Screams rang out one after another. How could these geniuses resist? They were split in half, their bodies and souls destroyed. With one saber strike, hundreds of experts died. The two Boundary Emperors were also affected. However, they were stronger. They blocked it and wanted to escape. However, Many blood-red flags appeared on the surrounding mountains, sealing the sky and the earth. The two were beaten back. Soul Slayer, thousands of saber lights turned into one saber and slashed out, sending one of the Boundary Emperors flying. The other Boundary Emperor wanted to use this opportunity to escape. However, Xueming, who was behind him, attacked. She waved her hand, and a killing god spear flew out and killed one of the Boundary Emperors. When they saw this scene, the surrounding people went crazy. They were terrified. They were too powerful. The Soul Slayer was far stronger than them. Even if there were more of them, it would be difficult for them to fight back, let alone attack together. Some people were timid and afraid. They wanted to save their lives, so they obediently handed over their storage rings. Take them. 3 black-clothed people in the crowd quickly took the storage rings. At this time they walked over and shouted, "Seventh Senior Brother, there are 2 beauties here." They pointed at Ziyin and Shui Yunru. The 7th Slayer turned his head. When he saw the 2 of them, his eyes lit up. What beautiful women! There were 2 of them. He could have one each with his senior brother. He looked at Xueming and said, "Senior brother, I'll invite them over for you." Xueming nodded slightly and said, "Be nice." "I know." The 7th Slayer was excited. This time it was really a big harvest. When he came close, Shui Yunru and the others felt as if they were facing a great enemy. These people all stepped forward and stood in front of Lin Xian. "What do you want?" The Prince of Divine Force shouted angrily. His power shook the mountains and rivers. However, the 7th Slayer sneered. "You ants, you may be geniuses at the edge of the deity ground, but in front of me you can only kneel. Do you understand?" Chapter 5676. Damn it, you've gone too far. The young master of divine power shouted angrily and threw a punch. However, 7th Slayer sneered and sent the young master of divine power flying with his saber. One of the young master of divine power's arms was also cut off. He clutched the wound, his expression extremely ugly. Blood soared, and the others also stepped forward. The battle was about to erupt. When the surrounding people saw this, they all shook their heads. These young people were too reckless. They actually dared to fight against someone who had killed a soul ancestor. No matter how strong they were probably no match for them. Even a Boundary Emperor had died. Could they hold on? Some people also said, "I know those people. Those 2 fairies should be the princesses of the Water Cloud tribe and the Mandala tribe. But what a pity. This time, they're going to die miserably." Everyone was discussing this, and none of them thought highly of Shui, Yunru, and the others. After sending the young master of divine power flying, 7th Slayer looked at Shui, Yunru, and Ziyin. He then said, "Fairies, please have a drink with us." Although he was smiling, his tone was unquestionable. "Don't even think about it." Shui Yunru snorted coldly. "We're here to accompany the young master. You have no right to make us leave." "Young master? What young master? These pieces of trash?" 7th Slayer looked at the young master of divine power and the others with disdain. The young master of divine power and the others gritted their teeth. Damn it, they were going to fight it out with him. However, at this moment, 7th Slayer frowned because he saw a figure. There was another person behind them. That person was sitting on the heavenly law throne, sleeping with his eyes closed. What an arrogant brat. He's here, but he's not getting up. Why is he still sitting there? Is he looking down on me? He snorted coldly. "Is this the young master you're talking about? You don't know what's good for you. I'll make you kneel in front of me." As he spoke, 7th Slayer reached out with a large hand. He directly grabbed at Lin Xian. Not good. Shui Yunru's expression changed, and she used the True Water Sword technique. The young master of divine power, Kuang Yiming, and the others also attacked. Although they couldn't defeat him, they definitely wouldn't allow him to hurt Lin Xian. The instant he attacked, an earth-shattering sound rang out. Shui Yunru and the others were forced back and vomited blood. The seventh Slayer's attack had also been blocked. His face darkened. "Since you're looking for death, I'll fulfill your wish." He took out the soul-slashing saber, his body full of murderous intent. The people who had killed the Black Soul Divine sect also walked over. It seemed that they wanted to annihilate the young Master Shin, Li, and the others. The surrounding people quickly distanced themselves from him in fright. Under such circumstances, no one would lend a helping hand. At this moment, Lin Xian opened his eyes. What was going on? Lin Xian's doppelganger frowned. The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. Who was this kid? She was too arrogant. She was still sleeping. How dare he be so dissatisfied? What a foolish thing. How dare you be so arrogant in front of us, the Soul Ancestor? One of the experts from the Kitagarbha sect stepped forward with a cold snort. A killing sword appeared in his hand and slashed towards Lin Xian. Boom! Lin Xian raised a finger and flicked it lightly. A beam of sword chi flew out and shattered the killing sword. At the same time, it pierced through the expert from the Soul Ancestor. With a plop, the man collapsed, his soul destroyed. He was dead. The surrounding people were shocked. This young man's strength was so extraordinary. Who was he? He dared to kill someone from the Black Soul Divine sect? No wonder he had been meditating with his eyes closed. It turned out that he was strong. Many people exclaimed. Some people sneered. So what if he was strong? The Soul Ancestor was so powerful that he could easily kill a quasi-emperor, let alone the other party. This time, the other party didn't know the immensity of heaven and earth and killed someone from the Soul Ancestor. I think he'll suffer a fate worse than death. Sure enough, the seventh Slayer was furious. He stared at Lin Xian. You dared to kill our people. You're dead. I'll let you know what regret is. He waved his hand, and the experts who had killed the Soul Ancestor walked over. Their murderous aura shot into the sky. Kuang Yidao, Shui Yanru, and the others were extremely nervous. Were they going to attack? The young master of divine force said coldly, You're strong, but the family behind us is not to be trifled with. Moreover, our patriarch will be here soon. If you really attack, you'll have to bear the consequences. You're threatening me. The seventh Slayer sneered. You want us to let you go? Let these two fairies stay with me. At the same time, let this kid kneel on the ground and wait for my punishment. The rest of you can get lost. Hearing this, the young master of divine force and the others' expressions became extremely ugly. They definitely couldn't agree to this condition. What, you don't want to? Then you can all go to hell. The seventh Slayer walked over, his murderous aura even more terrifying. Very well, let's do it. If you want to live, kneel and wait for my punishment. At this time, Lin Xian spoke again. His words were shocking. Those who were watching from afar felt their scalps go numb. Was this kid crazy? Was he going crazy when he was about to die? He actually dared to challenge the seventh Slayer like this. Was he not afraid of death? Or did he not know that there was a situation called a fate worse than death? What did you say? The seventh Slayer was instantly enraged. You want me to kneel and wait for your punishment. You've completely infuriated me. Today, even if the heavens came, they wouldn't be able to save you. I advise you not to attack. Even someone like the Heavenly Secret Prince is kneeling at my feet. If you attack, you'll kill the sect and you'll be finished. You'd better think this through. Hearing this, the seventh Slayer laughed loudly. The Heavenly Secret Prince is kneeling at your feet? Kid, who do you think you are? The surrounding people sneered disdainfully. The Heavenly Secret Prince was so terrifying. He was a strong cultivator from the Heavenly Thunder clan in the depths of the Celestial Land. How could he be afraid of this kid? What an idiot. Behind them, Xue Ming, who had been silent all this time, walked over. A few years ago, I met the Heavenly Secret Prince. I even received some pointers from him. At that time, he was already a 6-crown king. Now that I think about it, he was one of the top geniuses in the 6 Kings sect. You actually dared to challenge him like this. I won't let you off." The surrounding people had strange expressions on their faces. They had come from the edge of the celestial land. They had heard that the heavenly secret prince had come from the depths of the celestial land to the edge, and then been killed. Did the person who killed the soul ancestor not know about this? It seemed that the information between the various regions of the celestial land was not so smooth. Shui Yunru and the others also had strange expressions. Kuang Yidao sneered. "How long has it been since you last asked for news? The heavenly secret prince has been killed a long time ago. He was defeated by our Lin Gongzi, and you don't even know about it?" "What did you say?" Xueming's pupils constricted. The heavenly secret prince was defeated? Impossible. A few years ago he had received pointers from the heavenly secret prince. He had been worshipping him like a god. How could such a person be defeated? Kill them and destroy their bodies and souls. He gave the order. The seventh slayer shouted angrily, "Die!" The soul cutter in his hand slashed down. However, at that moment, Lin Xian waved his hand. Behind him, a vortex appeared in the void. A figure walked out of it. When they saw this person kill the soul ancestor, they were stunned. Chapter 56-77. The surrounding people had seen the power of the soul cutter. It was indeed terrifying. It could kill hundreds of experts with one strike. The surrounding people retreated in horror. The person who killed the soul divine sect sneered. With one strike, these people would be destroyed. However, at that moment, the void opposite them split open, and a figure walked out. Then he struck out with his palm. That palm carried tens of thousands of thunderbolts. It was vast and contained destructive power. It instantly collided with the soul cutter. There was a loud explosion, and the soul cutter shattered instantly. Seventh Slayer was hit by the palm. With a blood-curdling scream, he was sent flying. His body was torn into pieces. The whole world turned into a bloody mist. The surrounding people were stunned. The pupils of the person who killed the soul divine sect shrank. What was going on? They turned their heads and found that Seventh Slayer was already dead. He had been killed with one strike. The people who killed the soul divine sect were scared silly. What kind of person could kill Seventh Slayer with one strike? Xueming's pupils shrank. How dare you kill him? Seventh Slayer was different from the ordinary disciples of the soul divine sect. He was a powerful genius. Now that he was dead, he couldn't explain it to them. No matter who you are, no matter who is behind you, you must die. Xueming was furious. Behind him, a sea of blood surged, and a blood-red flag appeared. He held it in his hand. He decided to attack personally. However, when he saw the figure walking out of the vortex, he was stunned. In fact, his body was even trembling. "Senior brother, why aren't you attacking?" The person who killed the soul divine sect didn't understand the situation and quickly asked, "Shut up." Xueming growled. Everyone trembled. She took 2 steps forward and bowed deeply. "Greetings, young master, Tianji." The person who killed the soul divine sect was stunned. Their powerful genius senior brother was bowing to someone else. Moreover, the other party was called Young Master Tianji? Could it be that this was the supreme genius who had taught their senior brother? Why would he appear here? They also hurriedly bowed. The surrounding people who were watching the battle were even more shocked. They had heard of Young Master Tianji, but not many had seen him with their own eyes. They didn't expect him to appear here. That's not right. Didn't they say that he had been killed? How could he still be alive? Could it be that the legend they had heard was wrong? Even Shui Yunru and the others were stunned. Only Kaiser Blood, Mandela, the Quasi-Emperor, and a few others knew that Lin Xian had subdued young Master Tianji. Therefore, young Noble Tianji's appearance shocked everyone. "Brother Tianji, I didn't know you were here. Please forgive me." Xueming no longer dared to be arrogant. Instead, he lowered his head and submitted. He had not mentioned anything about the seventh slayer being killed. Tianji, please come back. At this moment, Lin Xian spoke softly from behind. This scene stunned Xue Ming once again. This person actually dared to order his big brother Tianji around. Just as he was about to get angry, he was scared silly in the next moment. Tianji turned around and walked over to Lin Xian. He knelt down on one knee and paid his respects to his master. Xue Ming was stupefied. The people who had killed the Soul Divine sect were stupefied. Shui Yunru and the others widened their eyes. The surrounding people gasped. The legendary supreme genius from the depths of the celestial land was actually kneeling down in such a submissive manner. Who exactly was the young man sitting on the throne? Could it be? They thought of a possible legend. Tianji had been killed by a young man. Could it be this person in front of them? Some people's hearts raced. Xue Ming was even crazier. No, big brother Tianji, what's going on? You've always been arrogant. How could you submit to someone else? He kept yelling. Tianji slapped him with the back of his hand. The thunderous palm slapped Xue Ming away. Half of Xue Ming's face was filled with anger. How dare you challenge my master again? I'll kill you without mercy. Xue Ming was so frightened that he immediately knelt on the ground. Big brother Tianji, please forgive me. I won't do it again. He then looked at Lin Xian and kept kowtowing. Young noble, please forgive me. Senior, please forgive me. The people who had killed the soul sect were so frightened that they froze on the spot. Break your own arms and get lost? Lin Xian said lightly. Yes. Xue Ming felt as if he had been pardoned. He broke his own arms and turned around to run. When the other people of the soul sect saw that their senior brother had done so, they naturally did not dare to resist. One by one, they broke their own arms and left. After taking back all the storage rings, Lin Xian gave young noble Tianji an order. Young noble Tianji waved his hand and collected all the storage rings of the people who had killed the soul sect. Not only did he kill the soul sect, but he also collected the storage rings of the others. At this moment, all of them were in Lin Xian's hands. Countless people watched this scene with red eyes, but no one dared to say anything. Even the extremely terrifying soul sect had knelt in front of him. Who would dare to challenge him? Lin Xian waved his hand and formed a vortex again. Young noble Tianji walked in and disappeared. Lin Xian grabbed a part of the storage rings and threw it to Shui, Yunru, and the others. Take it and cultivate well. Let's go. Thank you, young noble. Shui Yunru and the others were wild with joy. After receiving the storage rings, they quickly put them away. In the next moment, they lifted the throne again and quickly left with Lin Xian. After Lin Xian left, the people in the surroundings dared to step forward. They looked at the departing figure and sighed. What a pity. I actually missed an opportunity to make a meteoric rise. If I had stepped forward and said a few words for this young man, I'm afraid my status would be different now. Countless people felt incomparably regretful. If they had to do it again, would they dare to challenge the soul sect? Let's go. The aura of the breaking soul cliff was so terrifying that no one dared to stay. Although they had lost their storage rings this time, they had at least kept their lives. Moreover, they were going to the tomb of a great emperor. If they were lucky, they might be able to earn it all back. These people also left one after another. After they left, 3 more figures appeared at the breaking soul cliff. One of them was wearing plain clothes. He had a handsome face and outstanding horns. The other 2 were wearing black robes. Demonic qi overflowed from their bodies. They were abnormally terrifying. Is he the person you were talking about? A man wearing a black robe asked. The one wearing plain clothes was naturally Yao Guang. The corners of his mouth rose. That's right, it's him. He has the demon emperor's inheritance and is the person you want. However, you have seen his strength. I'm afraid you. Yao Guang didn't continue speaking. The other black-robed woman snorted coldly. So what if he's strong? Our Black Demon clan is not to be trifled with. In that case, I won't say anything more. In short, the Demon Emperor's inheritance is complete. I've helped you find the person. You should give me the thing you promised." The black-robed man frowned. He didn't make a move before, so we don't know if it's real or fake. "Fine, I'll show you." Yao Guang's eyes burst with a piercing cold light. Then several terrifying black vortexes appeared beside him. Demonic qi appeared and condensed in front of Yao Guang, forming a demonic Tao incarnation. With a wave of his hand, the demonic Tao incarnation rushed out and chased after Lin Xian. Chapter 5678. In the void, a few figures were flying quickly. They were carrying a law throne, and a figure was sitting on it. It was Lin Xian and the others. They were very fast, wanting to leave the broken soul cliff. However, at that moment, a terrifying whistling sound came from behind them. Demonic qi surged and covered the sky. Who was it? Shui Yunru and the others turned around. In the next moment, they were horrified. They saw a pitch-black figure in the boundless demonic qi, carrying a terrifying power. It charged directly at Lin Xian, a demonic Tao expert. Everyone exclaimed. Kuang Yiming and the others wanted to attack. However, Lin Xian's clone suddenly opened his eyes. He snorted coldly and struck out with his palm. It turned into a sky-scraping seal and fell mercilessly. The demonic qi on it was even more terrifying, as if a true demon had been resurrected. Boom! With one strike, the demonic Tao clone was shattered. The demonic qi around it cracked and quickly dissipated. "Let's go," Lin Xian said coldly. He felt a familiar aura from the other party just now. That was why he attacked personally. He didn't expect it to be just a clone. Lin Xian slowly closed his eyes, but he sneered in his heart. "Yao Guang, how many experts have you swallowed?" No matter how many people Yao Guang had swallowed, Lin Xian was fearless. His Tao was indomitable. The figures of the few figures quickly disappeared. At the same time, on the other side of the broken soul cliff, Yao Guang smiled. "The two of you, did you see that? How do you feel?" The two black-robed figures had serious expressions. The black-robed man said, "What a terrifying demonic Tao ability. I felt a trace of terrifying power from it. The quality of the demonic qi is even more terrifying than our black demon race. It should be the demonic qi condensed from cultivating the Emperor's inheritance. It seems very likely that it is the Emperor's inheritance." The black-robed woman also said. Yao Guang smiled. "In that case, are you going to fulfill your promise?" "Okay." The black-robed woman waved her hand and took out a black box surrounded by demonic qi. She handed it to Yao Guang. It was a pleasant cooperation. Yao Guang checked the situation inside and smiled. He soared into the air and left the place. Only the two black-robed figures were left. The two of them looked at each other. The black-robed woman said, "Inform the family and start the plan." With a sway of their bodies, the two of them transformed into devilish qi and disappeared. Lin Xian didn't know that he had already been targeted. At this moment, they were still hurrying on with their journey. However, without the immortal spirit boat, their speed was much slower. After all, the deity ground was filled with danger. Other than the demon broken cliff, Lin Xian and the others had also encountered some demonic beasts. These were the beasts that grew up in the celestial land. They were extremely terrifying. Shui, Yunru, Kuang Yiming, and the others attacked one after another, killing several demonic beasts. However, on the third day, a quasi-emperor level demonic beast appeared. Immortal Demon Bull. It wasn't big, only 2 meters in length and 1 meter in height, but the strength it had was too terrifying. The prince of Herculean strength was pierced through by a bull horn, and his body was filled with cracks. The other few people were also unable to withstand the impact of the other party. Fortunately, Lin Xian had subdued young noble Tianji and summoned young noble Tianji. Young master Celestial Pole had to fight it to defeat the demon ox. Spare me, young master, I'm willing to submit. The immortal demon bull knelt on the ground and kept begging for mercy. It wasn't easy for it to cultivate to this level, and it didn't expect these young people to be so terrifying. We're going to the great emperor's tomb. You can be our mount and take us there, and I can spare your life. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. I'm willing. The immortal demon bull quickly nodded. Then its body grew from 2 meters to more than 20 meters, and its strength became even more terrifying. Shui Yunru and the others carried the throne to the immortal demon bull's back. Under the bull's feet, demonic wind spread, and it ran quickly, much faster than before. At the same time, they were shocked. As expected of Lin Gongzi, he had subdued a quasi-emperor-level demonic beast with just a few words. It was too shocking. 5 days later, the immortal demon bull stopped. Young master, there's a valley in front called the Valley of Immortals. There are many people there. The immortal demon bull explained. Shui Yunru and the others went to check it out. They came back and said, it seems that those who are heading to the great emperor's tomb have all come here to rest. After hearing that, Lin Xian closed his eyes and nodded. He said, then let's go there first. He had been using his clone outside, and his real body was in the sword world. He had made a big discovery. Before, he was digging in the deity ground and finally found something. The great spear of destruction went down and made a metallic sound. He knew there was a treasure. Little White and the Hellfire Dragon came over, and they also helped. Finally, they dug out a corner of the thing. It was a piece of metal. It was only the size of a fingernail, but it was shining with golden light. It should be extraordinary. The Hellfire Dragon said, something buried here is definitely not ordinary. Kid, it might be a divine artifact. Don't be too optimistic. It might just be a fragment. Lin Xian had seen too many fragments of weapons. Even extreme-grade weapons were shattered, not to mention the divine realm. So he said, let's dig it out first. Although they only dug out a little, it would take a lot of time to dig it all out. Later, Lin Xian felt that it was just a physical task, so he sent his clone. At the same time, he asked Little White and the Hellfire Dragon to help. His real body went out to relax and see what was in the Valley of Souls. Lin Xian finally opened his eyes. His eyes were shining. Young master, you're awake. Shui Yunru and the others were happy. Lin Xian had slept for many days. Lin Xian nodded and said, let's go, let's find a place to stay. The Valley of Souls was very big. There were pavilions, palaces, and pavilions inside. The Herculean young master rented a villa, and a group of people went in. Then, a few people came out to scout for information. Today, Kuang Yiming was very happy. He brought back a person. It was a woman with black hair and black eyes. She had demonic patterns on her body and a terrifying aura. This is... Shui Yunru and the others frowned when they saw the stranger. Kuang Yiming said, young master, good news. Greetings, young master. He looked at Lin Xian and said, this is Emoliana. She's from the Black Devil clan. We found out that the Black Devil clan is a very terrifying clan in the Immortal Soul realm. She wants to invite young master to the Black Devil clan after hearing about your deeds. Black Devil clan. Lin Xian was shocked. He looked at the other party. He did feel the terrifying demonic qi on her body. It should be a type of demon. Suddenly he frowned. He thought of the light-shaking realm a few days ago, but he didn't care. They shouldn't be together. He said, why did you invite me? Emo Ling smiled. Lin Gongzi, your deeds have spread from the edge of the immortal land to the immortal soul realm. Young master was outside the universe and didn't have the fate of the immortal land, but you were able to cultivate to this level. Ling, I really admired you. My Black Devil clan admires geniuses the most. And this time, the great emperor's tomb appeared. My Black Devil clan also wants to explore it. So, We want to invite young master to come with us. Chapter 5679. Cooperate? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. It was not impossible. In fact, he was a little tempted. After all, he was unfamiliar with this place. Although the Blood Ancestor and the other quasi-emperors would come, Kaiser Blood and the others were only at the edge of the deity ground. If he wanted to stay in the Immortal Soul Jade, he had to find the local experts. Moreover, the Black Demon race was a powerful family in the Immortal Soul realm. He could get a lot of information. As for the Black Demon race, did they have other intentions? Lin Xian didn't care. He just wanted information about the Great Emperor's tomb. So he said, okay. Hearing Lin Xian's straightforward answer, Mo Ling smiled. Young master is straightforward. I admire you. Since this is the case, let's not delay. Young master, please. This villa is good, but it's not good enough for you. Young master, follow me back to the family. We will treat you with the best resources. The group moved again. The immortal demon bull didn't leave. He took the initiative to follow because he also wanted to explore the great emperor's tomb. But it was too dangerous to go alone. It might be safer to follow Lin Xian. He took the initiative to become a mount and led the group away. Along the way, Lin Xian asked Mo Ling about the great emperor's tomb. Mo Ling smiled and answered. The Black Demon race was very close to the great emperor's tomb in the Immortal Soul realm, so they found a lot of information. Mo Ling said some. She wanted to arouse Lin Xian's interest. This time, their family's target was the young man in front of him. He had to bring him to the family, so he had to do everything he could. But fortunately, it seemed that things were going very smoothly. At the same time, he was curious. Did the young man in front of him really have what they wanted? Why didn't he sense it on him? Lin Xian also got some information. At the same time, he was surprised. It seemed that the great emperor's tomb was related to the soul. It was said that the soul pressure in the tomb was very terrifying. Some people were already preparing soul defense treasures. The Soul Dao Great Emperor? Lin Xian was overjoyed. He was really looking forward to it. His soul was powerful, and his Rinnegan was even more magical. If he could get something from the Great Emperor's tomb, then he would be able to use his Rinnegan. Maybe it can make the Rinnegan go further. At this moment, he frowned slightly. His eyes shone brightly as he looked around. His expression darkened. What's wrong, young master? Shui Yenru immediately asked. Lin Xian said, be careful. There are people loitering around, and it seems to be disadvantageous to us. Someone was there. Prince Herculean Strength and the others took a deep breath when they heard this. It was as if they were facing a great enemy. The immortal demon ox beneath his feet also said, I did feel a trace of an unusual aura. However, Mo Ling, Ari's expression changed, instantly turning pale. Could it be that the clan was going to make a move at this time? They were only halfway there. If they let the other party escape, wouldn't all their efforts be for naught? While he was in a daze, Lin Xian snorted coldly and rolled out. The Rinnegan bloomed with radiance, and the hand of the heavenly Tao of reincarnation slammed down, shattering the surrounding void. A terrifying power swept in all directions. Mo Ling was startled. At this moment, he finally felt the terror of Lin Xian. At the same time, he was excited. This was indeed the person they were looking for. He was ready to escape at any time. However, when several figures appeared in the void, Mo Ling was stunned, because he realized that although these people were mysteriously hidden in black robes, they were not from their clan. The aura and laws were not right. Who are you? How dare you ambush us here? Prince Herculean Strength shouted coldly. A total of 4 people appeared, and they were fixed in 4 directions. Among them, a hoarse voice said, You are indeed not simple to be able to discover our existence. However, you will definitely die today. On the other side, there was a loud and clear voice. because you have offended someone you shouldn't have. The 4 people rushed over. Attack! Shui Yanru, Prince Herculean Strength, and the others used monstrous immortal spells. But they were all shattered in an instant. Their chi and blood boiled, and they retreated. Not good. A 4th quasi-emperor came to assassinate them. All of you retreat. Lin Xian ordered. Shui Yanru and the others retreated. The immortal demon bull under their feet roared angrily, and its horns faced a quasi-emperor assassin. In addition, Mo Ling also attacked this person. The immortal demon bull retreated a few steps and shouted coldly. He was so powerful, even the old bull was forced to retreat. On the other side, Mo Ling, Er's face was also pale. He frowned. Who are you? Humph. What does it have to do with you? Hurry up and leave. We only want to kill this kid. The 4 quasi-emperors didn't expect that there would be 2 experts here. They frowned. Kuang Yiming and the others were also surprised. Mo Ling was also a quasi-emperor? This was too unbelievable. He was far stronger than them. Only Lin Xian glanced at the other party, and his eyes flashed. The next moment he said, Tianji, come out and suppress them. I want to collect their souls. He wanted to see who dared to assassinate him. A figure appeared in the vortex, and he walked out. When the 4 quasi-emperors saw that figure, their pupils constricted. Prince Tianji, you are not dead? You are still alive. The 4 quasi-emperors were too shocked. It was different from what they had expected. Mo Ling was also surprised. She looked at the Prince Tianji and felt a trace of fear. This person was about the same age as her, but his strength was very terrifying. Lin Xian ordered young Master Tianji to make his move swiftly and kill his way forward. Boom! The 4 quasi-emperors were very strong, and their laws were terrifying. They wanted to kill Lin Xian. However, Prince Tianji was even more terrifying. He blocked the 4 of them alone and even injured 2 of them. Damn it, your heavenly thunder tribe is gone, and you still dare to be arrogant? You even helped this kid. One of the injured quasi-emperors gritted his teeth and shouted. Lin Xian's face darkened. You came from the depths of the deity ground? Originally, he thought that they had killed the soul sect to get rich, but now it seemed that was not the case. These people might have come from the depths of the deity ground. Tianji, suppress. Lin Xian ordered again. Prince Tianji quickly attacked and suppressed the 4 quasi-emperors. Lin Xian began to search their souls. The 4 quasi-emperors screamed, but they could not resist. Lin Xian waved his hand and killed the 4 quasi-emperors. Were they the ones who killed the soul sect? Yunro and the others asked. Lin Xian shook his head. Let's go. He did not say anything. He just searched their souls and found that these people were indeed sent from the depths of the deity ground. However, they were not at Prince Tianji's level. The 4 of them were just here to inquire. It seemed that someone in the depths of the deity ground had already noticed him. He snorted coldly. Just wait. It won't be long before he personally goes to the depths of the deity ground. Tianji disappeared, and everyone went on their way again. Mo Ling was surprised. This Prince Tianji was very difficult to deal with. She wondered if the family had a corresponding countermeasure. She was nervous. Finally, they flew all the way. A few days later, they arrived at the Black Demon race. Below them was a continuous stream of demonic qi that covered the world. Chapter 5680. Lin Xian and his group landed at the Black Demon race. Many people from the Black Demon race were already waiting below. Leading the group were 2 elders. Their wide black robes covered their bodies. Their eyes were filled with excitement. This must be Lin Gongzi. Seeing him today, he was indeed extraordinary. The people from the Black Demon race all looked at Lin Xian. One of the elders walked over and grabbed Lin Xian's hand, not letting go. He looked very friendly. Shui Yanru and the others were muttering in their hearts. Why did it feel like these people were looking at a treasure? This was just what they thought. They didn't dare to say it out loud. Lin Xian also smiled and greeted these people. When the elder shook hands with him, there was a trace of demonic qi surrounding him. Obviously, the other party was testing him. He didn't leave any traces and gently counterattacked. His body was a divine body. This elder couldn't break it at all. After discovering that Lin Xian's body was strong, the elder of the black demon race also let go of his hand. He smiled and said, "Lin Gongzi, please rest for a while. We have prepared a banquet in the evening to welcome you." Everyone invited Lin Xian and the others to the black-stained plumes. The 9-story pagoda was incomparably dark and surrounded by demonic qi. The interior was even more luxurious. The young masters of the chosen immortal race were also shocked after seeing it. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was very calm. These external things were all ephemeral. Only one's own strength was eternal. He said, "You must be tired. Rest for a while." In the evening, Demon Ling came again and invited Lin Xian and the others away. Everyone left the black-stained plumes and headed for the Black Demon Hall. This hall was even more majestic and extraordinary. It seemed to have been built by an ancient demon god. The pitch-black stone pillars were covered with demonic runes. Even the soul of a boundary emperor would be lost if it probed here. Sure enough, the immortal demon bull took a look and shook its head. "No, this old bull is about to faint." Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and curiously sized up the entire palace. He was surprised, as expected of the devil race from the celestial land. Their heritage was really long. These demonic patterns contained the great Tao. He silently chanted the demonic summoning scripture in his heart and corresponded with it to comprehend the demonic path. "Young master, please." Seeing that Lin Xian had stopped outside the hall for a while, Devil Ling spoke again. Lin Xian retracted his gaze, nodded, and walked in. "Come, Lin Gongzi, this way, please." This time there were even more elders, only 8 of them. Other than that, there were countless middle-aged and young geniuses. There were more than 100 Black Demon clan members in the hall. These people warmly invited Lin Xian over. The group of people took their seats, and the banquet began. "Come, Lin Gongzi, have a taste of our Black Devil Clan's spirit wine. This is a demonic beast unique to our immortal soul realm. Have a taste." After 3 rounds of wine, Shui Yanru, young Master Shinli, and the others were incomparably happy. The treatment of following Lin Xian was really good. Even if they followed their ancestors here, they probably wouldn't receive such treatment. After all, the Black Devil clan was much stronger than their clan. "Lin Gongzi, I heard that your strength is extraordinary. You have the demeanor of a young, great emperor. I also heard that you are a Devil Dao expert. I wonder if it's true?" At this time, Devil Ling spoke. Her topic seemed to have opened the floodgates. The surrounding Black Devil clan members all turned their heads to look. Immediately, someone laughed. "Is that true? Lin Gongzi, I wonder if you can show us some Devil Dao techniques, and let us have a look." "Yes, Lin Gongzi, you are so powerful. I think your Devil Dao techniques must be very terrifying. Lin Gongzi, please enlighten us." The young Black Devil clan members all spoke. Lin Xian smiled faintly. "I'm not worth mentioning in front of your Black Demon race, so I won't embarrass myself." He shook his head slightly. A few elders looked at each other and let the young disciples invite him. However, Lin Xian only smiled and didn't speak. At this time, a middle-aged man stood up and said, "Lin Gongzi, you are too humble. Who doesn't know that Lin Gongzi is powerful? Your reputation has already spread to our immortal soul region. Why don't we exchange some pointers? You can also give me some pointers." He was already very polite. However, there was a trace of devil qi blooming in his eyes. No matter what, they had to make him fight today. "It's not that I can't give you pointers. However, another day. I'm tired today." Lin Xian drank a cup and said indifferently, This made the middle-aged man frown. This guy felt like he didn't know where to start. No matter what they said, the other party didn't seem to have any intention to fight. At this time, in the Black Devil clan, a burly man was angry. He slammed the table and stood up. "Kid, we gave you face, but you don't want it. Our Black Devil clan kindly invited you to a banquet and let you show off your skills. Could it be that you look down on our Black Devil clan?" His angry shout startled Shui Yanru and the others. Quan Yiming and the others also darkened their faces. The immortal demon bull also said, "Why did it feel like the atmosphere was not right?" Ziyin said, "These people are too much." The Prince of Strength also snorted, "That's right. Lin Gongzi is an important guest. Is this how you treat a guest?" Lin Xian put down his wine cup and said indifferently, "My power is not for you to show off. You want to exchange pointers with me? I'm afraid you are not qualified. You dare to look down on me?" The burly man from the Black Devil clan jumped up. The devil law on his body condensed into a black hammer and smashed towards Lin Xian. It was like an ancient mountain with black clouds pressing down on the city. Shui Yanru and the others trembled. Lin Xian raised his head and looked at the man. He activated his Rinnegan and attacked the man's soul. In midair, the burly man from the Black Devil clan fell to the ground. He was foaming at the mouth. His soul was injured and he fainted. He was really weak. The immortal demon bull also saw that these people were deliberately looking for trouble. He sneered, "You can't even withstand a glance from the prince. You still have the face to exchange pointers?" Quan Yiming also sneered, "I think you should continue drinking for the sake of your family." Opposite, the people from the Black Devil clan were shocked. They did not expect this guy's soul to be so strong. What should they do? The young disciples did not dare to fight. The 8 elders conversed in low voices. One of them said, "Let's just do it directly." At this moment, the 8th elder stood up and said, "Lin Gongzi, we heard that you have obtained the inheritance of the Devil Emperor. Is that true?" Shui Yanru and the others were even more shocked. The inheritance of the Devil Emperor? Could it be that these people were after? They did not dare to think further. Lin Xian smiled. "After talking so much, you finally can't wait anymore. You invited me here for the inheritance of the Devil Emperor, right?" He had already realized that the Black Devil clan had other motives. However, he did not care. He would beat them at their own game and see what they were up to. That's right. The other elders also stood up. The 3rd elder said, "Since Lin Gongzi knows about it, we will be straightforward. Lin Gongzi, why don't we make a deal? If you give us a portion of the inheritance of the Devil Emperor, the Black Devil clan will give you a great opportunity." Chapter 5681. Shui Yanru and the others were completely shocked. Just as they had guessed, these people were up to no good. They all stood up and pulled out their swords and sabers. Their bodies were filled with laws. As long as Lin Xian gave the order, they would attack with all their might. Did they want to fight? Mo Linger and the others also stood up. Hundreds of Black Demon Clan experts covered the entire hall. Damn it. Feeling the strong pressure, Shui Yanru and the others turned pale. The difference in numbers between the two sides was too big. These Black Demon Clan were too despicable to set up a trap. Surrounded by hundreds of top experts, Lin Xian was not afraid at all. He still sat there and said with a smile, "Oh, great fortune. What's the situation?" The 8th elder said, "You are a young man. We are all seniors here. Any one of us can give you a few pointers, and you will benefit for the rest of your life. Isn't this a great fortune for you? Young man, hand over the Demon Emperor's inheritance." Another elder spoke, his tone brooking no discussion. Lin Xian also smiled. "According to what you said, if you hand over the core inheritance and immortal techniques of your Black Demon Clan, I will give you a chance. I can also be merciful and give you some pointers. You ate old things after cultivating for so long. You are only a mere quasi-emperor. I guess your strength and talent are very poor. With my pointers, you will benefit for the rest of your life. Hearing this, the immortal demon bull laughed. Shui Yunru and the others could not help but laugh. This was giving them a taste of their own medicine. The faces of the 8 elders on the opposite side were extremely ugly. Those from the Black Demon clan also snorted. You dare to challenge our elders? Do you want to die? The surrounding demonic aura exploded, turning into black clouds and rolling over. Between heaven and earth, the terrifying power caused countless cracks to appear in the void. It seemed that with a single order, Lin Xian and the others would be completely destroyed. What? Do you feel anger and anger too? Since you know this feeling, why do you still want my cultivation method? Because you are not worthy. Only our Black Demon clan is worthy of the Demon Emperor's inheritance. Those experts of the middle generation roared crazily. The 8 elders also snorted coldly. We've already given you a chance. If you don't cherish it, don't blame us for bullying you. The murderous aura of these people became even more piercingly cold. Shui Yunru and the others clenched their swords and sabers tightly. They were only waiting for Lin Xian's orders. However, Lin Xian waved his hand and shouted, "Tianji, come out!" A vortex appeared behind him as a figure walked out from it. It was none other than young Master Tianji. The lightning on young Master Tianji's body was still behind. As soon as it appeared, it pierced through the surroundings. The surrounding devilish clouds seemed to have been torn apart. This single person seemed to be able to fight against 1,000,000 experts. What a terrifying young man! This was 6 Crown King. The lightning on his body contained an extremely powerful aura of destruction. When the surrounding people felt this power, their faces turned incomparably solemn. Previously, they had inquired about the news and found out that there was a super expert following the other party who could easily defeat and kill the Soul Ancestor. Now they finally saw it for themselves. Now that they were in the same situation, they felt as if they were facing a great enemy. The young disciple's forehead was covered with cold sweat. However, the 8th elder was laughing loudly. "Kid, did you think that we weren't prepared? We already knew that you had a super expert by your side. However, did you think that you'd be able to contend against our Black Demon race with such means? You're too naive. We have a way to deal with you. Fellow Taoist, please come out." The 3rd elder also cupped his fists and said to the void. At this moment, a chilly wind blew through heaven and earth. Not only was there demonic chi in the surroundings, but there was also a gloomy and cold aura. This aura was like the opening of the gates of hell. The souls of the people from Cloudwater House all trembled. As a quasi-emperor, the immortal demon ox also jumped up at this moment. What was that? It was so terrifying. Not to mention them, even the young disciples of the Black Demon race subconsciously retreated. They opened up a path. A person wearing a gray robe appeared in the void. This person had a head of gray hair that covered his face. The aura on his body was ice cold. Several chains were tied around his left finger. As he walked, the sound of metal clashing could be heard. Following behind him were 5 figures. Those 5 people were also wearing gray robes. They were all wearing masks and their facial features could not be seen. However, there was a murderous sword behind them. Although the sword was not out of its sheath, the murderous aura was shocking. Who was this? Even Mo Lien, and the others were surprised. They only knew that this plan was to kill Lin Xian and obtain the Demon Emperor's inheritance. However, they did not know the details. In particular, this new powerhouse made their hair stand on end. This person was not from their family. The 8th elder and the others cupped their fists. They had seen the soul gather before. The Soul Gatherer was an extremely terrifying powerhouse in the legends. He was a quasi-emperor level killer, Mo Linger exclaimed. Another middle-aged man said, I heard that the soul gatherer is from the depths of the deity ground. I didn't expect him to come out. The depths of the deity ground? This time, the disciples of the black demon race all exclaimed in surprise. They were excited. Great, this kid is dead for sure. No matter how strong he is, can he fight against someone from the depths of the deity ground? If we kill him, the demon emperor's inheritance will be ours. These people were extremely excited. The black demon race was so powerful. However, they lacked one thing now, and that was the demon emperor's inheritance. With the emperor's inheritance, with their talent and the resources of the deity ground, they would soon be able to produce a real emperor. After the soul gatherer arrived, he stared ahead. He sighed when he saw Empyrean Pole. Who would have thought that he would really die and be refined into a puppet? Speaking of this, he suddenly looked up. The murderous aura in his eyes pierced through the sky. He stared at Lin Xian and said, Little Zhao, how dare you use such a vicious method to refine Prince Tianji? How should you be punished? Oh, you know him? Lin Xian was also surprised. It seemed that this person was indeed from the depths of the deity ground. The soul gatherer snorted. Yes, I know Prince Tianji. Today I will avenge him. Revenge? Lin Xian smiled. You just want the emperor's inheritance. You make it sound so dignified. What ability do you have? Show me what you have. Lin Xian's Rinnegan bloomed. Prince Tianji took a step forward, and the thunder on his body exploded. Then he threw out a palm. The immortal technique, Thunder Palm. Like a palm leaving a bowstring, it swept out with a violent force. Even the experts of the Black Demon clan were frightened and unconsciously retreated. The soul gatherer sneered. He waved his sleeve, and his withered hand clawed out. It was the death god's claw. The two collided, and the immortal technique spread. The power was amazing. Then they both took 2 steps back. As expected of Prince Tianji, he had such strength at such a young age. Unfortunately, he died. I've met you several times before, but we've never fought. Today, I'll see how powerful the Heavenly Thunder Race's immortal technique is. The Soul Gatherer's death aura became more terrifying. Chapter 5682. This person actually blocked young Master Tianji's attack. Shui Yunru and the others were stunned. They had seen with their own eyes how terrifying young Master Tianji was. It was as easy as killing an ant for him to beat their patriarch. But now, the soul gatherer in front of them was unscathed. Could it be that the soul gatherer was also so terrifying? Lin Xian was also surprised. He narrowed his eyes. As expected of someone from the depths of the deity ground, he didn't disappoint him. He waved his hand, and Tianji rushed out again. The soul gatherer on the opposite side also made a move. The phantom of the Grim Reaper appeared behind him. The Grim Reaper's hand kept attacking. On one side was violent and destructive lightning, and on the other side was eerie death chi. The collision of the two was earth-shattering. Everyone retreated to the edge of the main hall. Fortunately, the Black Demon Hall had been passed down for a long time and had a strong defense. Otherwise, it would have been torn apart. But even so, the inside of the palace was still filled with cracks and black holes. Everyone was shocked. The other party was actually able to compete with the Soul Gatherer. Who was this person? They heard that he was called Young Master Tianji, and was also from the depths of the deity ground. No way. He had actually become a puppet. Who did it? The people of the Black Demon race were shocked. The other party was about the same age as them, but he was so terrifying. Such a person was really a peerless genius. The battle between the two was evenly matched. Lin Xian was still sitting there and said with a smile, Black Demon race, is this what you're relying on? It's really ridiculous. Are you planning to use this power to suppress me? I'm afraid you can't do it. Kid, don't be arrogant. The 8th elder's face was cold. He didn't expect the Soul Gatherer to be unable to do anything to the puppet beside the other party. However, they still had a trump card. At this moment, the third elder said, "Old friend, it seems that we have to ask you to make a move." An erratic voice came from the void. "Sure, but the cost of asking me to make a move is not low." The third elder said with a smile, as long as he could kill him, everything was negotiable. As soon as he finished speaking, another figure appeared in the void. This person appeared out of thin air. Even a quasi-emperor couldn't detect him. It was a man with a tall and slender figure. He was dressed like a scholar. However, to be able to be invited by the Black Demon Clan to deal with Lin Xian, one could imagine that his strength was not ordinary. When Mo Linger saw this scene, she cried out in alarm. Could it be that Senior was the person who killed the Black Soul sect master? As soon as these words were spoken, the others were also shocked. The killing soul ancestor was also very terrifying in the immortal soul domain. Its strength was not much different from their Black Demon Clan. Perhaps their overall combat strength was not as good as the Black Demon Clan's, but it was not much worse. And this time, the sect master of the other party actually came in person. He was definitely an extremely terrifying expert. Shui Yunru and the others were terrified. They had witnessed the killing of a soul ancestor once before. Just a few youngsters had nearly killed them, let alone the fact that the sect master had personally come this time. Not only that, but the third elder of the Black Demon race had also personally come out this time. The devil chi on his body formed an armor that covered his entire body. It was a terrifying force that was incomparably vast. Needless to say, this was yet another terrifying accuracy. Mo Ling, and the others laughed. Mr. Sky Extreme was tied down. Of the remaining people, only the celestial demon cow was safe. But it was not enough to be feared. The others were all below the quasi-emperor level. How could they resist the attacks of two great experts? The killing soul ancestors, sect master, stared at Lin Xian. She said, "I heard that you actually attacked me and killed a disciple of the soul ancestor. How should I punish you? Young man, kneel on the ground and break your own arms. Maybe I'll give you a quick death if I'm in a good mood." The third elder looked into the distance and said, "Lin Gongzi, what I said just now still stands. If you hand over the Devil Emperor's inheritance now, we'll still treat you as a guest and give you some pointers." Idiots, do you really think that you can contend against me just by calling a few helpers? Lin Xian shook his head. These people really knew nothing about strength. He was really disappointed. Seeing this scene, the third elder was also angry. The eighth elder said, "Third elder brother, why are you wasting words with him? Just take him down." The third elder said with a smile, "No, let's make him feel despair. His backing is Mr. Sky Extreme." Suppress that puppet. The third elder walked toward Mr. Sky Extreme. Firstly, he wanted to use this method to make Lin Xian feel despair. Secondly, he was incomparably jealous of Mr. Sky Extreme's puppet. This was a super expert who could fight to a draw with the Soul Gatherer. If he was suppressed and they found a way to control him, wouldn't it mean that their Black Demon Clan had another super puppet? Thinking of this, the third elder couldn't wait to make his move. Black Demon Shadow. With a wave of his hand, tens of thousands of demonic shadows appeared around him and attacked Mr. Sky Extreme. Mr. Sky Extreme roared. Immortal technique, thunder of annihilation. Above his head, endless terrifying thunderbolts appeared and attacked the demonic shadows that filled the sky. He actually didn't fall into a disadvantageous position in a 1 versus 2 battle. This scene caused countless people to be shocked. However, 2 more elders came over. The 4 experts attacked together and gradually suppressed Mr. Sky Extreme. Not good. Shui Yunru and the others' expressions changed when they saw the scene. The 8th elder sneered. "Kid, did you see that? Although your puppet is powerful. It's nothing in front of our Black Demon Clan. We haven't even sent half of our elders, and you've already lost your trump card. What do you have to challenge us now? Kneel on the ground obediently and take out the great emperor's inheritance with both hands. The 8th elder was very proud. Demon Linger said, Lin Gongzi, it's not too late to lower your head. Do you really intend to be enemies with us? Stupid thing. You still dare to fight against our Black Demon Clan. You're courting death. That's right. We'll let you experience what it means to live a life worse than death. The people of the Black Demon Clan also sneered. Lin Xian sighed. You're all really stupid. Who told you that my trump card was this puppet? Why don't you think about how this puppet was refined? Who defeated it? Didn't you investigate this? As soon as he said this, the elders frowned. They were indeed puzzled about this matter. The 8th elder snorted. We know that you might have an expert behind you, but so what? Today, your expert won't be able to save you. After killing you, we'll have the Demon Emperor's inheritance, and a new great emperor will appear soon. So what if the expert behind you knows about it? The 3rd elder snorted. You're about to die, and you still dare to be stubborn. I'll take down this puppet first. He couldn't wait to subdue this puppet and use it for himself. Lin Xian snorted. You're not qualified to be my opponent. As for this puppet, you're also not my opponent. After saying this, Lin Xian used his Rinnegan again and gave an order. Mr. Sky Extreme was suppressed by the 4 experts. Suddenly he roared toward the sky. A heavenly thunder diagram appeared on his forehead. There was a trace of light, red lightning on it. With a boom, he flew out and attacked the 3rd elder. Chapter 5683. Feeling this terrible thunderbolt, the 3rd elder's face changed drastically. However, before he could react, he was hit by the red thunderbolt. He retreated, vomiting blood. His body was covered with cracks, surrounded by endless lightning, and he let out a miserable scream. The other 2 elders were also swept by this force. They vomited blood, and several cracks appeared on their bodies. The Soul Gatherer was the same. His body was penetrated. Under this blow, all 4 of them were injured. Countless people were shocked. What kind of thunderbolt was this? The face of the Slayer Soul Sect's leader became extremely ugly. How could it be the aura of the heavenly tribulation? Yes, it was the heavenly tribulation. Lin Xian said lightly, Do you still think you can fight against it? Damn it. The Soul Gatherer's face was cold. The Slayer Soul Sect's leader also stared at Lin Xian. The people of the Black Demon Clan exclaimed, 3rd elder. They found that the 3rd elder was more seriously injured. His whole body had begun to shatter, and finally even his soul was cracked. He was dead. They were stunned. The power of the heavenly tribulation killed the 3rd elder directly. They couldn't believe it. Damn boy, you dare to kill? The 8th elder shouted angrily. Lin Xian laughed. You all want to kill me. Why? I'm not allowed to kill. Celestial Pole continued to move. After Celestial Pole heard the order, the red thunderbolt on his forehead spread again. A trace of the power of the heavenly tribulation rushed forward. No, run. At this moment, the Soul Gatherer turned around and fled. So did the Slayer Soul Sect's leader. His body was erratic. The 8th elder and the people of the Black Demon Clan also fled. They didn't dare to fight back. However, the 8th elder's body was penetrated. Dozens of strong people of the Black Demon Clan were also blasted out, and they all died in an instant. Damn it. The people of the Black Demon Clan went crazy. For a moment, no one dared to step forward. Lin Xian said coldly, With your strength, you dare to have ideas about me? Who gave you the courage? Lin Xian looked around. Those who were seen by him trembled and lowered their heads, one by one. There was no other way. Who knew if the other party would send out the 3rd heavenly tribulation? For a moment, the scene was extremely strange. The The people of the black demon race were well prepared. However, they didn't dare to move at all. In fact, they were so scared that they were about to cry. The prince of Herculean strength snorted coldly. "Why aren't you kneeling down and begging Lin Gongzi for mercy?" A furious roar shook heaven and earth. The faces of the people from the black demon race turned ugly. Kneeling and begging for mercy? What kind of joke was this? Are you not convinced? Lin Xian snorted coldly. Young noble celestial pole unleashed another thunderbolt, killing 2 more elders. Next, the Soul Gatherer killed the Soul Sect master. They were also seriously injured. Half of their bodies were reduced to nothingness by the lightning tribulation. Their expressions were extremely unsightly. Initially, the 2 of them thought that they would be able to get a share of the loot and obtain the heritage of the martial monarch. Now, it seemed that he had really kicked an iron plate. That brat hadn't even made a move yet. Just his puppet alone was already difficult for them to deal with. Now, they wanted nothing more than to run away. The people of the Black Devil clan were even more terrified. In the blink of an eye, half of their 8 elders had died. The others were even more shocked. More importantly, the other party was just a puppet. How could this young man's means be so terrifying? "I'll give you one last chance. Kneel down and submit," Lin Xian said coldly. Everyone felt a huge pressure. After this opportunity, would the other party destroy all of them? Just as the black demon race was in despair, a cold snort sounded between heaven and earth. How arrogant! How dare you behave so atrociously in my black demon race? As soon as the voice fell, the void split open. In the sky, a huge black demon claw came charging over. It directly attacked young, noble celestial pole. An earth-shattering sound was heard. At this moment, young, noble celestial pole was sent flying. The thunderbolt on his body shattered, and his body was penetrated. He retreated to the main hall, smashing through countless voids. What was going on? Shui Yunru and the others were stupefied. Previously, young Master Tianji had swept through all 4 directions, and no one was his match. Now that he was sent flying with a palm, how terrifying was that person? The Soul Gatherer and the Soul Sect Master's pupils shrank. On the contrary, the people of the Black Demon race cheered excitedly. "Patriarch! The Patriarch has come out of seclusion!" "Great! The old man has finally come out." In the void, a man in black armor walked out. His figure was tall and straight, and he looked majestic. He was like a high and mighty god looking down. "Greetings, Patriarch." The surrounding people of the Black Demon race kowtowed. His aura was so powerful. Shui Yunru and the others also felt a wave of horror when they looked at the sky. Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes. To be able to send young noble celestial pole flying with a palm, he had to admit that the other party was indeed an expert. Moreover, he frowned slightly. For some reason, he felt a familiar aura from the other party. In front, the 4 surviving elders were also surprised. They had also sensed an unusual aura. Something's not right? The first elder was puzzled. Although their patriarch's appearance did not change, his aura had become more terrifying than before. There was even a pressure on the soul. Did their patriarch break through? He was very puzzled. The Black Demon Patriarch stepped in the air and looked down. "Young man, you are too impudent. Kneel and hand over the Demon Emperor's inheritance." A cold voice sounded, carrying an unquestionable tone. Lin Xian smiled. "Your family members have said that before, but those who said it are all dead. You better kowtow and beg for mercy. Otherwise, your end will be worse than theirs." "Ha ha ha ha! A mere 5-crown king dares to say such words to me." The Black Demon Patriarch sneered. "What are you relying on? Is it this puppet?" He attacked again, and a black demonic claw shot out. Young Noble Heavenly Secret was beaten back, and many cracks appeared on his body. "Do you see? Although this puppet is strong, it can't fight back in front of me, because I am the 7-crown king." A cold voice sounded, shaking heaven and earth. Everyone went crazy. 7-crown king. Even the elders sucked in a breath of cold air. The soul gatherer and the soul sect master's pupils shrank. The two of them were incomparably strong, but they were still 6-crown kings. They were only one step away from 7-crown king. Who would have thought that the Black Demon Patriarch would become 7-crown king? That's great. The Patriarch was mighty. The Black Demon Patriarch was excited. Their previous Patriarch was only 6-crown king. It seemed that he had broken through recently. This way, the Black Demon race would become stronger. No one would be their match. Let me tell you how terrifying 7-crown king is. The Black Demon Patriarch waved his hand and suppressed young noble heavenly secret. Not good. Shui, Yunru, Ziyin, and the others were filled with despair. Young noble heavenly secret, a terrifying expert, was mercilessly suppressed just like that? 7-crown king was really too terrifying. This time they were in danger. Kuang Yiming said, "Young noble, why don't we retreat first?" The immortal demon ox was also trembling in fear. This time, he came to explore the ancient tomb. Who would have thought that he would meet such a dangerous 7-crown king? He couldn't help but want to run. Lin Xian frowned. 7-crown king? Chapter 5684. His eyes shone with the light of reincarnation, enveloping his opponent. He said, "I'm afraid you've just broken through, so your realm isn't stable yet." What terrifying eyes. "Kid, you're the first one who dares to probe my secrets." "That's right, I've just regained my strength." "But even so, a 5-crown king like you won't be able to fight me." Regained? As soon as he said this, the elders also frowned. What did he mean? Could it be that the Patriarch was the 7-crown king? The Soulbringer and the others also frowned. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. He seemed to have discovered something, but he wasn't sure. "Then let me give it a try. I haven't fought the 7-crown king yet. Let me see how powerful your 7-crown king is." Lin Xian walked out. The people around him were stunned. What? This kid is going to attack? Young master. Shui Yunru and the others also exclaimed. The Soulbringer sneered. "Stupid thing. I'm not even his match, but you dare to attack?" In their opinion, Lin Xian had been so arrogant because he had young Master Tianji as his puppet. Aside from young Master Tianji, his strength wasn't that strong. He was just an ordinary quasi-emperor. If they wanted to kill such a person, they could kill him with a single slap. But now, he dared to challenge the 7-crown king. His brain must have been flooded with water. Ignorant ant. "Very well. I'll suppress you personally and take the demon emperor's inheritance." The Black Demon Patriarch sneered. He reached out with his right hand and grabbed forward. Terrifying demonic runes appeared on each of his fingers, connecting with each other. It was as if the sky was being crushed mercilessly. Heaven's suppressing hand. The people of the Black Demon clan exclaimed, "This is the unique skill of their clan. It's really terrifying when it's used by their patriarch." In an instant, he arrived in front of Lin Xian and the others. Shui Yunru and the others were already trembling. The demon immortal ox was also prostrating, unable to resist. Lin Xian waved his sleeve, and a force wrapped around them. Then he said, "Retreat far away." They retreated far away and exclaimed, "Young master, be careful." Lin Xian raised his head. Then he formed a hand seal and slammed it into the sky. A black, demonic shadow swept across the land, covering the 9 heavens. When the two collided, the entire Black Fiend Hall shook violently. Boom! Black Fiend Hall had been shattered. The surrounding people also quickly retreated. They only stopped after they had retreated far away. They were all bewildered. Devilinger said, That brat should be killed instantly. That was for sure. The eighth elder sneered. How could he possibly block the patriarch's attack? The Soul Reaper and the Soul Slayer frowned. This time around, their target was also the inheritance of the great emperor. Previously, they had thought that they would be able to get a share of the spoils. But now that a 7-crown champion had appeared, it was unlikely that they would be able to achieve their goal. The two of them discussed whether or not they should join forces. A voice came from the shattered void ahead. 7-crown King's strength is only SO. If you want to kill me, I'm afraid it's not too possible. What? When everyone heard this sound, they all went crazy. He was still alive. Devil Linger cried out in alarm. The eighth elder shook his head frantically. Impossible, this is an illusion. The Soul Reaper and the Soul Slayer's pupils shrank. Under such an attack, it would be difficult for either of them to survive, let alone the other party. How did this brat do it? Could it be that he dodged it? Everyone was puzzled and looked ahead. In the sky, the Hate-Emo Patriarch's expression was cold. The other party was actually able to block his attack. This was truly beyond his expectations. The seal you used just now is surrounded by demonic aura. Its power is astonishing. It should be one of the great Emperor's ultimate techniques, right? This is truly delightful. And you can't unleash the true power of the great Emperor's inheritance. Only in my hands can this kind of absolute art flourish. I must obtain it. The Black Fiend Patriarch's eyes blazed with a fiery light. If he obtained a 5-crown champion, he would be able to contend against him. If he obtained it, wouldn't he become the second great emperor? He laughed loudly and attacked again. I'll let you see the true Black Fiend seal. His palm also took the form of a large black seal and slammed down. It hit the demon god seal. Cracks appeared on the demon god seal. Lin Xian's body swayed, and sword aura appeared on his body, blocking the attack. As expected of the 7-crown king, he was indeed strong. No one could contend against him. However, he wouldn't be defeated. Terrifying demonic aura appeared on Lin Xian's body. He seemed to have turned into a demon god, causing the Black Fiend clan members to tremble in fear. They looked up. Was this the demonic aura of the great emperor's ultimate technique? It's really too strong. I want to obtain it, countless people exclaimed. The demonic aura in front of them condensed into a pitch-black guqin. It was surrounded by great Tao and floated in front of Lin Xian. Lin Xian stretched out his hand and played. With a clang, the sound pierced through the 9 heavens. Emo Lien, Er's forehead, split open. She screamed and her soul was destroyed. She wasn't the only one. Many young disciples of the Black Fiend clan had their souls destroyed by this sound. The elders also vomited blood. What a terrifying ultimate technique. Quickly retreat and seal your ears. You're courting death. The Black Fiend clan leader roared. Black, demonic aura danced on his body quickly, as if it had turned into an abyss. He roared at the sky and also let out a shocking sound to resist the demonic song. At the same time, he punched. The power of the 7-crown king could sweep through everything. The demonic aura around Lin Xian was suppressed. Lin Xian didn't dare to be careless. He used the power of the divine fire to resist. He was forced back, his blood boiling. Useless ant. The gap between us is too big. You're not my match at all. The Black Fiend clan leader punched again. In his opinion, Lin Xian wouldn't be able to block this punch. However, the power of the immortal Qi seed spread out from Lin Xian's left eye. Immortal technique, unparalleled blazing Sunday. Between heaven and earth, the fire god's palace danced and swept out. Immortal Qi and divine ability clashed. 7-crown king's power blocked it again. Countless people were shocked. This fellow really had the power of 7-crown king. Even the Black Fiend clan leader was furious. His eyelids twitched. You actually cultivated the power of immortal Qi and divine fire at the same time? You don't know the immensity of heaven and earth? Demonic world flame. Black flames flew out from his eyes, engulfing everything. Lin Xian roared. He used both immortal qi and divine ability to fight. The two figures were like two immortal gods, constantly moving. Each strike was earth-shattering. Not long after, the entire Black Demon clan was cracked. The people below were dumbfounded. Even their clan leader couldn't do anything to the other party. "Kid, you've completely angered me," the Black Fiend clan leader roared. A black fan appeared in his hand. As he waved it, a demonic storm blew. Immortal qi and divine ability were all torn to pieces by this storm. Moreover, this storm enveloped Lin Xian's body. Go to hell. Everything was over. No. Shui Yunru and the others were in despair. But in the face of this power, they couldn't help at all. Lin Xian felt his blood boil when he felt this power. His body was violently impacted. It was another immortal technique. It looked like he couldn't hold back anymore. With a roar, Lin Xian unsheathed his sword. His sword qi was shocking. Chapter 5685. Splitting the Black Storm apart, Lin Fan turned into a sword god and charged out. "Oh, I forgot to tell you that my trump card is not just the great Emperor Mystique." With that, Lin Xian slashed out again. The Black Devil Patriarch was sent flying by the sword. His entire arm was numb. There was a sword scar on his forearm that almost broke his bones. He was so angry that his body trembled. A sword cultivator? Lin Fan had the great Emperor's inheritance and could only fight against him. Could it be that Lin Fan also had the Sword Emperor's inheritance? Otherwise, how could his sword technique be so terrifying? This kid must die. He would never allow such a person to live. The demonic aura in his hand condensed again, forming a demonic steel. Demonic aura spread out. The surrounding people retreated frantically. The space in front of them was completely covered. No one could see their figures clearly. They could only wait. Seeing that the Black Devil Patriarch was about to use his ultimate move, Lin Xian took a deep breath. A sword shadow appeared in his hand. This sword could pierce the sky and shatter the 9 heavens. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with killing intent. The dragon-shaped sword aura slashed out. Between heaven and earth, dragon shadows circled around and tore apart the sword aura. On the opposite side, the Black Devil Patriarch roared into the sky. The demonic cup in his hand flew out. The demonic runes on it were extremely terrifying. It suppressed Lin Xian's dragon-shaped sword aura. The dragon shadows in the sky seemed to be suppressed. However, the power of this sword was too strong. The power of the great dragon, sword spirit, roared out. Boom! There was an earth-shattering scene in front of them. Retreat quickly. The surrounding people retreated again. Countless dragon roars rang out. Everyone's scalp went numb. What kind of sword technique was this? The Black Devil Patriarch's face turned pale. How could Lin Fan have the aura of a dragon? It was impossible. At this critical moment, there seemed to be a low dragon roar in his body that resisted the attack. Puff! However, he was still sent flying. The void in front of him was completely split into 2. Lin Xian stood above the 9 heavens, surrounded by terrifying sword shadows, looking like a god of swords. Opposite him, the Black Demon Clan's clan leader was kneeling on one knee. He was using his left hand to cover his wound. The right side of his body was split open. Blood turned into a sea of blood, and white bones could be seen. Cracks also appeared on the devil tablet in his left hand. Damn it! The Black Demon Patriarch couldn't believe it. That magic cup was his weapon. It was created using the legendary 9 heavens, black gold. It was extremely sturdy, but now it was actually split open by someone. Not only that, his body had also been split into 2 halves. What was that sword strike just now? Lin Xian was still circling around the sword light as he walked forward. There aren't many people who can survive my sword. You really surprised me. The patriarch of the Black Demon Clan, or the Dragon Emperor's general. After hearing this, the Black Demon Patriarch's pupils shrank. He suddenly raised his head and exclaimed, "How did you know?" He was so shocked that he roared, "Who are you? Who are you?" Lin Xian snorted, "Looks like I guessed right." When he met the other party earlier, he also felt a familiar aura in addition to the devil chi on the other party. But that aura made him very confused. He couldn't remember where he had seen it before. He thought that the other party was from the Demon Clan and was related to the Demon Emperor. But when he saw the last sword strike, he realized that wasn't the case. A dragon's roar also sounded from the other party's body. Lin Xian instantly understood that the familiar aura came from the 7th Dragon General. The other party's aura was very similar to the 7th Dragon General's. This made him think that the other party was most likely a dragon general under the Dragon Emperor. Now that he saw the other party's reaction, his guess was right. The Black Demon clan members in the distance were terrified. Was their clan leader injured? Could it be that their clan leader was defeated? They couldn't imagine it. That was the 7-Crown King. At the same time, some Black Demon Clan elders frowned. What did a dragon general mean? Did their clan leader have a hidden identity? The Black Demon Clan leader knelt on one knee and spat out mouthfuls of blood. His storage ring flew out, and many pills went into his wound. He said, "Yes, I am the 6th Dragon General under the Dragon Emperor." "Kid, how did you know?" "Who are you?" "You also have the aura of the Dragon Emperor." "What's your relationship with the 1,000 Dragons Court?" He had many questions. Lin Xian sneered, "You talk too much. But I can tell you, your 1,000 Dragons Court was conquered by me, and your Dragon Emperor's tomb was also opened by me. Your Dragon Prince was killed by my sword. This is impossible." The 6th Dragon General roared, "This is not true. I don't believe it." Although he established a family and hid in the deity ground all year round, he was still a member of the Dragon Clan. However, he was still a member of the dragon race. His heart was still with the 10,000 Dragons dynasty. He couldn't believe that something like this would happen to the 1,000 Dragons Court. Lin Xian sneered, "Nothing is impossible. Today, I'll send you down to meet the Dragon Prince in Hell." Lin Xian's sword became even more terrifying. Although his opponent was the 7-Crown King, his aura wasn't very strong. He guessed that his opponent had just become the 7-Crown King not long ago. Lin Xian didn't know the exact reason, and he didn't need to know. He just needed to kill his opponent. At this moment, the Black Demon Clan leader roared. His body became bigger, and he turned into a black dragon. He bared his fangs and brandished his claws. Demonic chi surrounded him. The Black Demon Dragon. This sudden change stunned the people of the Black Demon Clan. Their patriarch was actually a dragon. How come they didn't know? This was too unbelievable. Could it be that they weren't just demons, but also related to the dragon race? The 6th Dragon General roared furiously at the sky. His black dragon claws, together with the cracked demonic cup, violently pressed down. He was indeed a demon dragon. Not only was he a dragon, but he also had demonic chi. His strength was terrifying. This time his strength was even more terrifying than before. Lin Xian snorted. Has he turned into his true form? So what? He held the dragon-shaped sword with both hands. The dazzling sword light tore through the 9 heavens. The Black Demon Clan members were forced to kneel under the pressure of the sword light. Slash! Lin Xian roared, and his arms danced. The dragon-shaped sword shadow slashed down. The Black Demon Dragon spat out a mouthful of blood. Many sword wounds appeared on his body, and the demonic cup in his hand cracked again. Finally, it cracked with a boom. However, this gave the Black Demon Dragon a chance. When the sword slashed down, the scales on the Black Demon Dragon's back cracked open. A white statue appeared. The statue spread its wings like an angel. However, there were demon horns on its forehead. It looked very ferocious. As soon as the statue appeared, it flew toward Lin Xian. In an instant, it was above Lin Xian's head. Boom! The black demon dragon was sent flying by the sword Qi. More bones appeared on his body. He was seriously injured. If he wasn't the sixth dragon general who had been by the Dragon Emperor's side all year round, his physique was far stronger than that of the dragon race. He would have died under this sword. In addition, the demonic cup had helped him block some of the attacks, so he didn't die. He retreated and spat out blood. However, he laughed. "Kid, I'm not dead, but you're dead. You can't escape. The heavenly demon will kill you." Chapter 5686. What was a heavenly demon? Why did it feel so terrifying? Shui Yunru and the others were terrified. The Black Fiend race members laughed. Great, the Patriarch had won. They were the ones who had the last laugh. Lin Xian furrowed his brows tightly. He could feel a mysterious power surging into his mind and affecting his soul. To be honest, he didn't take the Black Fiend Patriarch seriously. Although he was the sixth Dragon General and the Seven Crown King, Lin Xian still had many ways to kill him. He had planned to suppress him. After all, if he was alive, it would be of great help to him against the Dragon Queen in the future. That was why his sword didn't take his life. But who would have thought that he still had a trump card? When the heavenly demon statue appeared, Lin Xian's soul was about to be lost. De Long also exclaimed, "Kid, this is bad. This is a real heavenly demon. Heavenly demons are mental demons. You must stabilize your Tao heart. I've seen many people's hearts shatter because of the heavenly demon's influence. In the end, their bodies and souls were destroyed." Lin Xian's soul shook. His head felt like it was about to split open. He used the dragon sword soul's power with difficulty to destroy it and block the heavenly demon's aura. But this wasn't a solution. Lin Xian was already affected by the heavenly demon's influence in his first year. Illusions appeared in front of his eyes. This made him unable to use the dragon's sword soul's power. There was another reason. Lin Xian had been distracted by something else. He had sent out a few clones to dig for treasures in the sword realm. These clones were constantly exhausting his power of laws. He still had to send out a portion of his soul power to investigate. So, Lin Xian was in a very difficult situation. Fortunately, at this moment, the clones suddenly disappeared and merged with him. At the same time, Lin Xian received a message in his mind. A treasure had been dug out. He couldn't care less about what treasure it was. He had to use all his strength to resist the heavenly demon. "Kid, no matter how strong you are, you will definitely die if you are affected by the heavenly demon." Back then, 9 Crown Kings' Tao heart had been shattered by the influence of the Sky Fiend. You are a mere 5 Crown King. Even if you are a little stronger, your Tao heart is still unstable. On the other side, the 6th Dragon General smiled proudly and walked forward. Although he was severely injured, his opponent was dead for sure. No, Shui Yunru and the others were in despair. There, Lin Gongzi was so powerful. Was he going to be defeated now? As for the Soul Gatherer, the Soul Killer Sect Master, and the others, their brows were tightly knitted together. Even though they were so far away, the heavenly demon still brought them a trace of fear. The Black Devil Patriarch was truly terrifying. He had actually concealed himself so deeply. At this moment, a dragon's roar rang out. Between the heavens and the earth, an eternal sword light slashed out ahead. It was as if an immortal had descended from the heavens, causing the entire world to shake. The void was split into 2 halves, and the heavenly demon statue was knocked back. How could this be? The patriarch of the Black Devil clan stopped in his tracks, dumbfounded. The other party was actually unaffected by the sky demon. Damn it, suppress him. He gathered his remaining strength and roared madly. The heavenly demon, statue, flew back again. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He used the great dragon's sword soul to block it. His face was pale, but his eyes were filled with anger. Black Devil clan members, listen to my order. Kill him. Soul Gatherer, Soul Killer Sect Master, the two of you attack as well. At this moment, the Patriarch said coldly. The surrounding people trembled. The elders and experts of the Black Devil clan attacked after hearing the order. Although the Soul Gatherer and the Soul Killer Sect Master were injured, they still gritted their teeth and rushed over. This was indeed a good opportunity to kill Lin Xian. If they missed this opportunity and let him escape, they would not be able to sleep and eat in peace in the future. Shui Yunru and the others roared and rushed over, striking out with terrifying laws. However, facing the Black Devil clan, they were quickly defeated. They were even seriously injured and vomited blood. They were in despair. The experts of the Black Devil clan sneered. They could finally kill the other party. The Soul Killer Sect Master appeared and disappeared mysteriously. He came behind Lin Xian and slashed his dagger at the other party's heart. The Soul Gatherer held a chain hook, wanting to take away the other party's soul. The surrounding demonic qi covered the sky and earth, completely enveloping Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted. The great dragon sword was used to fight against the heavenly demon. Did these people think that he had no strength left? They were courting death. He roared and punched out with his left fist. A golden sun swept across the land. Everyone was shaken to the point that their blood was boiling, but they still rushed over quickly. Kid, you are an arrow at the end of its flight. Attack with all your strength. The sixth dragon general roared. Everyone attacked again. Lin Xian snorted. If you want to die, I will fulfill your wish. He waved his hand, and the void split open. Something flew out from the sword world and turned into a golden light, forming an arc in the air. Boom! 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 Wherever the golden light passed, the void split open and turned into a black hole. The experts of the Black Devil clan fell. The Soul Gatherer's expression changed greatly. Not good. He retracted his chain hook to block. With a dang sound, fiery light danced about. The golden radiance smashed his chains to pieces. It pierced through his head. He fell down and his soul was destroyed. Was he dead? The surrounding people were terrified. However, this was not the end. The golden light continued to dance and collided into the void. In the void, the soul-killing sect master fell down. He was beaten into pieces, his eyes wide open. Until his death, he did not see clearly what the golden light was. The Black Devil clan experts found it even harder to resist. In an instant, 9 Black Devil clan experts were pierced by the golden light. They were split into 2 halves. As for the others, they fell in droves. No, what was this? The 6th dragon general went crazy. His body began to tremble. With the other party's current state, he should be using all his strength to resist the heavenly demon. How could he still have the strength to attack? Such a weapon required an extremely strong power. It was impossible for the other party to use it. Boom! However, the golden light was flying towards him. Damn it! His huge body danced, turning into boundless demonic qi and quickly escaping. With a boom, the golden light hit his body and sent him flying. At that moment, he felt that his body and soul were about to split open. He vomited large mouthfuls of blood and landed in the distance, overturning the entire Black Devil clan. The golden light gradually dimmed and finally flew back to Lin Xian's hand. It was dim. Lin Xian stretched out his hand, resisting the heavenly demon with all his might. In his left hand, there was a golden circle. It seemed to be made of gold and was engraved with Tao patterns. It was connected. The golden light from before was this golden circle. Universe ring. Lin Xian. He could vaguely see 3 words on it. Was this the name of this thing? It was really too terrifying. The moment it appeared, it could sweep away everything. However, it seemed that it no longer had any strength. Lin Xian waved his hand and withdrew him into the sword world. In the next moment, he activated the great dragon's sword soul with all his strength. Boundless sword qi turned into a dragon shadow, covering the sky and earth, stirring up the wind and clouds, attacking the heavenly demon. The light above the heavenly demon was suppressed and finally sent flying by the sword. At this time, Lin Xian took out the heaven-swallowing jar and directly swallowed the heavenly demon. Suppress! The boundless black vortex completely enveloped the heavenly demon. Chapter 5687. He actually subdued the Sky Demon. The sixth Dragon General was dumbfounded. The Sky Demon was his strongest move. It could definitely crush the opponent's Dao heart. Not to mention a 5-crown king. Even an 8-crown king would definitely die here. However, the opponent blocked it. What exactly was that sword shadow? It was indestructible, could actually kill the Sky Demon. Could it be the legendary Great Dragon Sword? The opponent was actually the successor of the Great Dragon Sword. He had gone mad. Now he didn't even have the strength to escape. Although the Universe Ring didn't hit his vitals, it still heavily injured him. At this moment, he could only watch as Lin Xian walked towards him step by step. Damn it! Stop him! The surrounding Black Devil race people went up, but they couldn't block Lin Xian's sword. The cold sword qi pierced through their foreheads. In the blink of an eye, thousands of people fell. There were even more Black Devil race people in the distance. They couldn't even block Lin Xian's aura and fell down. Don't resist, no one can save you. Lin Xian came in front of the sixth Dragon General. He kicked him over. The sixth Dragon General screamed, "The 1,000 Dragon Court won't let you go. This kind of threat is useless against me." Lin Xian raised the dragon-shaped sword in his hand up high. With this sword, he could kill the opponent. However, at this moment, a voice came from within his body. "Kid, don't destroy his body." Hearing this voice, Lin Xian's sword qi stopped. The sixth Dragon General laughed. "You're scared now, kid. The 1,000 Dragon Court's strength isn't something you can imagine." "Shut up." Lin Xian stomped the other party's head to the ground with a single kick. After that, he asked through voice transmission, "What do you mean?" The one who spoke to him before was the Hellfire Dragon's remnant soul. Hellfire Dragon said, "Look at me now. My soul has been in this state for a long time. I've recovered a lot in the sword world. My wish now is to return to the past, but I'm lacking a body. Although this demon dragon's body isn't as good as mine, it's still a very suitable one. He has demonic energy, and I cultivate the aura of hell. We are about the same, so can you give me this body?" Lin Xian thought for a moment, then said, "No problem." The infernal demon dragon had been with him for a long time and could be considered an old friend. So he said, "I'll help you destroy his soul." "Don't do that. Didn't you want to use it to deal with the Dragon Queen? Leave it to me. You'll severely injure his soul, and I'll devour it. This way, I can pretend to be the sixth Dragon General and hide by the Dragon Queen's side." "Okay." Lin Xian nodded and kept the great dragon's sword spirit. The sixth Dragon General was still roaring. "Are you afraid? If you are, kneel down and beg me. I'll give you a quick death." Lin Xian sneered. The 6 paths of reincarnation appeared. The power of the Rinnegan began to crush the soul of the sixth Dragon General, causing the soul of the sixth Dragon General to scream. At this time, the sword world opened. The Hellfire Dragon flew out and drilled into the sixth Dragon General's body. "No, you want to possess me." The sixth Dragon General let out a cry of agony. This was worse than death, because if he died, his heart and soul would be destroyed. And now his soul was destroyed, and his body was going to become someone else's power. He was not willing. However, all of his methods were useless in front of Lin Xian. So soon his voice stopped. Is he dead? In the distance, the people of the black demon race were in despair. Even their chief had died and their experts had fallen as well. Their black demon race was finished. At this moment, the huge corpse suddenly moved, and in the next moment, it shot up into the sky. What happened? The corpse revived? The black demon race opened their eyes wide. A huge head popped out from the clouds, and a terrifying voice came out. Ha 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 ha, I've finally revived. The voice was cold and the surrounding demonic chi rolled. Other than that, it was as if the gates of hell had been opened. Everyone felt their hair stand on end. Everyone was terrified and kept kowtowing. Only Lin Xian stood there, facing the huge dragon head. Lin Xian's eyes flashed with the light of reincarnation. He asked, Hellfire Dragon, you won't betray me, right? Haha, how could I? The Hellfire Dragon's body kept dancing. Don't worry, I'm on your side. I won't betray you. I'm just too happy. Do you know how many tens of thousands of years I've been in this soul state? Now that I have control of this body, I'm really happy. What a joke. The Hellfire Dragon had seen Lin Xian's methods. Not to mention the dragon sword spirit was invincible. The sky-devouring crown was half an extreme weapon. Just the universe ring that was just dug out was extremely terrifying. With his current body, he would probably be torn apart with just a single hit. That's good. Oh, right, after you take over, tell me about the 6th Dragon General. The Hellfire Dragon said. No problem. His body shrunk and turned into a middle-aged man. Scales appeared on his body and his face was cold. His eyes were flickering like will-o'-the-wisps. He said, this guy was arranged to stay here by the Dragon Emperor. Then he started his own family. It was the Black Demon race. However, this guy was usually sealed and in a deep sleep. The position of patriarch was inherited by his descendants. A while ago, with the descent of the celestial land, he woke up from his deep sleep and gradually came back to life. With the recovery of some resources, he had just recovered to 7 Crown King. Then he met us. Where's the Dragon Emperor? Is he dead? Why did the Dragon Emperor ask him to stay here? Lin Xian asked. Where did the Dragon Emperor go? She didn't remember. However, she did have a mission. Stay here and wait for the Dragon Empress. Wait for the Dragon Empress again. Lin Xian squinted his eyes. Then he asked a few more questions. However, there was no news of the Dragon Emperor. And the Dragon Emperor was what Lin Xian paid attention to the most. He could only say, forget it, let's take one step at a time. Hellfire Dragon, recover your strength and reorganize the Black Demon race. The Hellfire Dragon said, Kid, tell me what you think. I have my own thoughts too. Although you killed many Black Demon race elites, I'm the Hellfire Dragon. I can control the power of hell. It's the power of a dead creature. I can turn those dead people into white bone puppets and use them again. Although it can't reach the peak state of the Black Demon race, it's still better than the current situation. Don't you need allies? Other than the 6th chosen immortal race, you need more help like the Black Demon race. All right. Lin Xian nodded. Then I'll leave it to you. Black Demon race, do as you see fit. Don't worry, no problem. However, give me some time. The Hellfire Dragon smiled. He formed a seal. In the space, a gate of hell appeared. Many soul fragments floated out. Then they flew into various places. Then the dead Black Demon race elders stood up one by one. Their bodies caved in. They were no longer as strong. Instead, they became more capable. Some became white bones, some became zombies. These people had ghost fire in their eyes. They knelt down on one knee to greet the patriarch. A cold voice came. The Black Demon race members in the distance were stunned. They couldn't imagine this scene. Chapter 5688. The Hellfire Dragon said, It was a misunderstanding between me and Lin Gongzi. Now I've surrendered. From now on, Lin Gongzi would be the leader of the black demon race. Greetings, Patriarch. Greetings, Lin Gongzi. Those from the black demon race in the distance could only kneel. Shui Yunru and the others were also stunned. They thought Lin Xian was dead for sure. Who would have thought that Lin Xian was not only fine, he even conquered the black demon race. His methods were unbelievable. He also turned these two people into puppets. Lin Xian pointed at the Soul Gatherer and the soul-killing sect leader. No problem. The Hellfire Dragon smiled. When he was at his peak, he was even scarier than the Seven Crown King. So, there was no problem for him to revive these people. Of course, this was not a real revival. Even Lin Xian's Rinnegan couldn't revive the dead. Not to mention the Hellfire Dragon. He just turned these people into dead creatures. As expected, the Soul Gatherer stood up. Although his head was cracked, he still knelt on the ground. Greetings, Master. On the other side, the soul-killing sect leader did the same. His broken body was reconnected by white bones. After seeing this, Lin Xian squinted and sighed in his heart. This was not a real revival. He wasn't interested in that. I'll take the Soul Gatherer with me. I'll see which family in the deity land attacked me. As for the Soul Sect Master, you can keep him. When the time comes, you can control and kill him in one fell swoop. No problem, the Hellfire Dragon said. Then he started to revive the black demon race and his own body. The sixth dragon general's body was also severely injured in the battle with Lin Xian. It would take a lot of resources to recover. Lin Xian arrived at the top of a mountain and set up a spirit formation. The next moment, he opened his Rinnegan and started to search souls. Although there were only some remnant souls, Lin Xian didn't plan to give up. Which family? The Dead Soul race. What was their relationship with Higan? What was Higan's plan? Lin Xian asked again. However, the Soulbringer's body began to tremble. Higan? No. His soul felt like it was about to vanish. Lin Xian suppressed it with the Six Paths reincarnation and stopped asking. It seemed that the Nirvana realm was indeed a terrifying place. Even a remnant soul feared the word Nirvana realm after death. From the looks of it, it was impossible to get any information about Higan. He threw the Soul Gatherer back to the Hellfire Dragon for him to manage. It was enough for Lin Xian to have Prince Tianji by his side. Next, he planned to rest for a while before continuing his journey to the great Emperor's tomb. With a sway of his body, Lin Xian entered the sword world and began to absorb the energy inside to recover. At the same time, he was very curious. He grabbed the Cosmos Ring and carefully examined it. He had also discovered the power of the Universe Ring, and it had shocked him greatly. He condensed the dragon-shaped sword Qi and struck it, but it didn't make a dent. He tested it with the heaven-devouring jar and found that it was still undamaged. From the looks of it, this was a type of treasure. Dalong, what is this? Do you know its origin? Dalong said, is it the Universe Ring? It was actually that treasure. He actually left it behind. You know, Lin Xian was shocked. Dalong said, I know. During the battle with the Nirvana realm, the Universe Ring was a very terrifying weapon. With a light wave, it could break the universe. But later, it was said that it was scattered. I didn't expect it to appear here. However, the Universe Ring wasn't at its peak. Lin Xian nodded. The Universe Ring before was shining brightly and turned into a golden arc of lightning. Now there was no light at all. He tried many times and finally understood that the Universe Ring could only replenish its energy after staying in the sword world for a period of time. Then, after using it once, the energy would be depleted. From the looks of it, it should be the after effects of the battle back then. Although he couldn't use it often, it was still Lin Xian's trump card. Once this thing was used, even the Seven Crown King wouldn't feel good. He placed the Universe Ring in the depths of the sword world again and let it absorb energy. Then, with a wave of his hand, the heaven-devouring jar appeared. There was a white jade statue inside. It looked like an angel, but there are devil horns on its forehead. It was the heavenly demon. He used the heaven-devouring jar to seal it. When Lin Xian approached, he could still feel the terrifying aura coming from it. Dalong said, "Heavenly demon can't be controlled, only held. In the future, when you meet an enemy, you can throw the heavenly demon to the other party. The other party's Dao heart will be unstable. It can be considered a trump card." Lin Xian nodded and continued to use the heaven-devouring jar to seal it. This thing had to be carefully stored. Otherwise, it would be a great disaster. However, it was also an even more powerful trump card. Let's see which reckless person came to provoke him. The Dragon Queen, the Nirvana Realm, or someone else. If he gave him a heavenly demon, his Dao heart would probably collapse. Of course, according to Dalong, this thing couldn't be used indefinitely. The heavenly demon was formed from countless evil thoughts. It could affect the Dao heart of others. However, if the other party could escape in time, or if the evil thoughts were used up, it would be useless. Lin Xian decided not to use it for the time being. He would keep it to deal with some particularly powerful enemies. For example, the Dragon Queen or some elite from the other world. The Black Demon race could start to recover. The Hellfire Dragon entered the depths of the Black Demon race to recover his body. Lin Xian recovered very quickly. He was almost done, so he was ready to continue on his journey. He sent a message to the Hellfire Dragon, telling it to stay here. After it recovered, they would meet at the Emperor's tomb. Then, Lin Xian continued on his journey with Shui Yunru and the others. There should be a lot of people gathered at the Emperor's tomb. Lin Xian didn't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. In the depths of the deity ground, after the heavenly thunder race was destroyed, the other families were shocked. Some who worked for the other world became even more careful. They secretly gathered some power and gave it to the other world. At the same time, the other world was also having a discussion. In one of the immortal palaces, a few figures stood there. Among them, there was a middle-aged man in purple, half frog, and an old man. The old man had silver hair. He said in a deep voice, according to the news from outside, "A big tomb is about to be opened. We don't know whose tomb it is yet. However, we can't miss this opportunity. We've already asked the people outside to gather some power. Although we can't completely break the Book of Heavenly Tao, we can give some people out." This group of people had two goals. First, to continue to gather resources so that they can fully decipher the Book of Heavenly Tao. Second, to explore the Emperor's tomb. See whose tomb it is. Is it ours or the enemy's? If it's the enemy's tomb, there's a chance of revival. Destroy it and bring back the resources from the tomb. If it's our people, help him recover. The middle-aged man in purple had a glimmer of light in his eyes. He said, "I'll go. The Purple Mansion is still outside. It's easier to do things." However, Half Frog said, "No, I'll go. Half of my body is still outside. This time, I might be able to find it and merge with it." You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.